Ignat's corner, beyond Bent. Janssen! And Blackburn Rovers are 18 minutes away from a Premiership return.
As far as Stewart, just outside the penalty area, clips it central for David Dunn. David Dunn equalises! It just had to be. Dack's corner and it goes. Glance towards goal! And Rovers have taken the lead! And Charlie Mulgrew has scored his 14th of the season. It may well be the goal that sends Rovers back into the Championship.
Good afternoon, Rovers fans, and welcome to our final away day of the season, our final away watch-along of the season as Rovers travel to relegation-threatened Rotherham United. A scenario today is Rotherham United could be relegated from the Championship this afternoon if Rovers win and results don't go their way. So a big game for Rotherham, most certainly, and Rovers' final away day of the season, as we say. As you can see, I'm joined by Joe and by Alex again this afternoon. Joe, how are you, mate? How's your morning been?
Not so bad. It was terribly demoralising last weekend. For the first time in over a decade, I chose not to watch the Rovers game. I had a barbecue in the back garden instead. And yeah, we were 5-1 up in the second half, and every notification that came through on my phone was fairly depressing. So now that I'm back, I'm sure we'll lose or draw 0-0 or something. But I am glad to be here.
No, we're very glad to have you back, Joe. But Alex stood in really well last week for you. Alex, you've gone from top right down into the bottom, down into the space where Luke Kimbley should be. And we've just lost Joe. But, how are you doing?
Well, I thought I'd been relegated then to the bottom of the screen, but
sorry, mate.
That I'd been moved back to the top again then. But yeah, thanks for having me on again. Filling in again for Luke, obviously, and hoping to bring the luck again. That's the aim of the game, I think.
Absolutely. There we go. Just a few things, Rovers fans. We have got a couple of things to say before we get going. As we all know, there is a social media blackout amongst the Football League clubs and across football in general at the moment. We at Rovers Chat absolutely supportive of the reasons why, and obviously support all of the clubs and players that are doing that. We have taken the decision, obviously, to keep tweeting over the weekend just to give you an avenue so that you can see what's going on with all things Rovers. And of course, we are doing the watch along, but it goes without saying that it has our full support. And obviously, enough is enough. And we are completely supportive of the stance there. So hopefully we can fill the little void that there will be over the course of this weekend. And in other exciting news, just with a little look into next season, we are delighted to announce that we will be hooking up with Sporting Minds UK as our charity partner for next season. We had a little bit of a vote and a discussion within the Rovers Chat contributors across the written and video content. And Sporting Minds UK is who got our vote. So look out for things like quizzes, charity events, and there'll be lots of stuff to win, signed shirts and merchandise and all of that type of stuff. Look out for that over the course of the summer and into next season as well. We are absolutely delighted to be obviously supporting Sporting Minds UK and doing everything that we can to, as it says there, you know, really raise positive mental health in sport. You know, it's been a tough couple of years for people with the pandemic and everything else going on. So we're absolutely delighted to support those. So look out for that. And then finally, as we always do, just a reminder that we are sponsored by Blue Rose Capital and we are sponsored by 6yardsout.com.
The Rovers Chat YouTube channel is proudly sponsored by 6yardsout.com. They've got retro football from every era with mugs, phone cases and much more. They also have plenty of Rovers goods, including apparel with the famous 94-95 season and this season's kit. Check them out using the link in the description below.
Thank you to our very kind sponsors, 6yardsout.com and Blue Rose Capital. And Joe, Alex, I have got a confession to make. After Dan tweeted on the account about the pronunciation of apparel, I have gone on to Google and Googled how apparel should be pronounced. So I stand corrected, and that is me well and truly corrected. But apparel will exist on our advert until the season end, but I hold my hands up. I've been pronouncing it wrong. Google told me. So there we go. Egg well and truly on my face. I admit it. I'm wrong. So there we go. So let's get cracking with this team news then. Joe, I'm going to come to you first. Thanks again for your lovely graphics of the team news. And some Rovers fans might be seeing this for the first time with obviously the social media blackout. We do have 8 subs today. As you can see, Tom Tribal has picked up a little niggle and knock at Rotherham. But yeah, Joe, talk us through the side and what your thoughts are.
Well, first off, this will be Bell's second or third game at left back now. He's been offered a new deal and will probably be the second choice left back next season. Douglas isn't expected to be here, so I can understand why he's playing over him. Against a side like Rotherham, I don't really think it's the end of the world. I'm not Bell's hugest fan, but he's younger. He's going to be here next year, so I completely understand that one. The rest of the back four, and obviously Kaminski, that's pretty bog standard. We're all happy with that. Nice to see Travis back in the team. He needs game time. People forget how young he is and how fresh he is to senior football. You know, he's being treated like a bit of an old pro at the minute, in and out of the team. And basically, we're asking him to do a job, you know, whenever we need him. Whereas really, we need to put some faith in him. So I'm glad he's playing. Johnson plays, and I think as well, you know, Rotherham, if they lose today and Derby win, they're down. So it'll be a fight today, and I don't mind Johnson in that side to give us a bit of oomph in midfield. But then alongside that, of course, you've got Rothwell, who gives you a bit of technicality in midfield. So pretty much a team that I probably would have gone for. You could maybe have gone for an Elliott or a Doan ahead of Gallagher, but again, against the physical side, not the end of the world. We did score 5 goals last time out, so you don't want to tinker too much. So yeah, for the first time in a while, I'm pretty happy with that team. It's probably what I'd have gone for. I'd like to have seen, of course, as somebody said before, a Dan Pike, a Conor McBride, a Sam Burns, a Jake Garrett, a Lenny Ray Serino on the bench. But yeah, it is what it is. A decent side. And when you look at it in comparison with that Rotherham side, we should win the game.
Absolutely. And Alex, you know, Joe's just touched on it there. M Outlaw here saying no youth in the side. This would have been the perfect time to test out some youngsters. Jacob saying, where's Dan Pike? This is a difficult one for managers at this end of the season, isn't it? Because Mowbray, as much as Rovers are playing for nothing, you know, Rotherham are fighting for their lives, as are Derby County. So there is that element of moral duty that Tony Mowbray has to the rest of the league, that he can't just throw a load of youngsters in. However, it would have been nice to just see maybe 1 or 2 just come into the side and maybe look towards next season, wouldn't it?
I'd just like to start by saying to Steve in the comments, condolences. He wrote that his dad passed in the last week, so condolences to you. I hope that they get the win today for him. I'll go on to talk about that youth now. I think it's the way that you do it, really. I think Mowbray has spoken about that Huddersfield incident a few years ago and kind of maintaining that integrity towards the end of the season, which I think is important, obviously, and not to be hypocritical. But I think there's a way to do it. I think there is no reason why there can't be 1 or 2 of the younger players in the squad today, particularly when we've not been able to field a full bench. I think it's slightly embarrassing that we've not filled a bench out, and yet we've got some of our best young players travelling down to Chelsea last night for effectively a dead rubber game when we lost the chance of winning the league title. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about that, but I think, as Joe alluded to before, you know, we've just scored 5 goals. We've been searching for performance for a few months now. We've had a really tough time as a club and as a team, and I think on the back of scoring 5 goals, you can't make too many changes to that side. And I think that one change with Evans going out and Johnson coming in, I think it probably makes sense, and it keeps that balance to the side that we had last time out. So I think it'll be a much different game. I think Rotherham are a very different side to what Huddersfield are. I've never seen a side be so cavalier against us this season, probably other than Wickham in the first couple of weeks. But yeah, today will be very different, and I think it'll be a much more attritional game and a much more difficult watch, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I can see why he's gone with the team he has, and I can't really complain too much about the starting 11. I'd just like to see maybe an extra young player or 2 on that bench, but there you go.
Yeah, that's where I am, Alex. It was, I think, as I say, Mowbray's got the moral duty to the rest of the league. He can't change it too much. And with that performance last week, absolutely, he's got to, keep some consistency and keep some faith there, just for that overall squad morale, most certainly. Stephen, yes, sorry, I didn't see your comment in the comments there. Absolutely, my condolences to you as well, Stephen, for the passing of your father. And, everyone at Rovers Chat, of course, passes on their condolences as well. Joe, I want to come to you because you've covered this at various times through this season. Mick on the other side last night suggested that Rotherham would play a 3-5-2, which at times this season has been a formation that we've struggled against. What's your views on, the formation and Rotherham, or is it just a case of, despite the formation that Rotherham might play, despite the fact that they're chasing survival, etc., etc., the quality that we've got in our side today versus the quality that they've got, with the greatest respect to Rotherham, should see us over the line? Is there anything that you're kind of nervous about if that formation is to be true?
Well, I mean, it'll be 5, really. I can't imagine Rotherham will play with 3 and look to play forward. If they do, then that's great. We'll get loads of space in the wide areas. There'll be gaps for Armstrong to run into, but it'll probably look a bit more like a 5, and they'll sit quite deep, and that is hard to break down. It's hard for, Man City to break down in the Premier League. So it's the same at this level for Rovers as well. But again, it'll be like that Huddersfield game. You get that first goal and Rovers should look comfortable. Obviously, the formation matters, but it's only relative to the quality of the opposition as well. I mean, you can have 6 at the back, but if they're all League One standard defenders, the likes of Elliott, Brereton, Armstrong, Travis, Dak, if he was playing, they're going to find their way through it. Stephen, massive condolences from me as well. I've been there 3 or 4 years ago at Oxford. I went through the same thing. We were 3-0 up at half time, and even though it was probably one of the worst days ever, it does cheer you up. So absolutely hoping that we can win for you today, and all of my thoughts are with you as well. And if you ever want to talk, just reach out to me.
Here, Joe, absolutely. Jacob's asked a really interesting question in the comments, which I'll come to in a moment, because I was just going to ask Alex one more thing. This could end up being a really strange game, couldn't it? If, say, Rovers and Rotherham are drawing and Rotherham get word that Derby have gone ahead at Swansea, we could find ourselves with a bit of an 𝐂𝐻𝐻𝐿 moment, with Rotherham lobbing absolutely everything forward. So do you think Mowbray might be a bit patient today and just see how things are going and trying to hit them on the counter? Is there something for us to exploit there today, do you think?
I think just before we started and just before we went live, we were talking about how when Rovers go 1 or 2 goals up in games, we tend to be able to manage the games quite well. And I think often we've been potentially a bit too conservative in the first 15 minutes of games. I think I always look back to, even in our early seasons in the Championship under Mowbray, we were at the very, very top of the league stakes for scoring in the first 15, 20 minutes of games. And I have to say that my impression is that this season that's been much reduced. And I think that's probably led to a lot of the 1-0 defeats we've had. We've just not been able to get back into games when we've gone behind. So what I would say is that I think Rovers' best chance of winning today is getting that early goal. And then, as you say, being astute and counter-attacking when you get the opportunity, because obviously, as you said, Rotherham and the Rotherham bench will be constantly on speed dial checking the results elsewhere. And for example, if Swansea go 1-0 up against Derby, then that maybe takes the pressure off slightly. I think Rotherham are in the situation now where they can't play themselves out of the league. A heavy defeat does that today. And so I think as long as they're in the game, I think they'll be quite happy, as long as Derby aren't winning by, 1 or 2 goals. So I think it will be a very moving situation throughout the game. I think we'll probably be constantly looking at our phones, checking the scores, and it will probably to and fro throughout the 90 minutes. But yeah, I think the only thing Rovers can do is take the game seriously and just approach it with that integrity that we demanded of Huddersfield 4 years ago. So if we do that, I don't really think we can have any complaints. But yeah, obviously we're going to expect Rotherham to be up for the game. If they weren't up for the game today, you'd question, their players' desire to be footballers, really. If you can't play when your club's in dire straits and fighting to stay in a division, then when can you fight? So, yeah, it'll be a tough game today. But, yeah, we just need to take care of our business.
Yeah, I've got the league table here where we are, just as we're talking about that kind of, we'll be checking the league table. This is where Rovers currently sit. We were just quickly noting before the game, weren't we, Alex? And just talking about how it's mental that there's teams on minus 17 goal difference, just a point or two away from us. And we're sat there with +8. And there's nobody in sight, really, that's got a goal difference so positive. Does that offer a saving grace to you? Does that give you hope moving forward? Does it say to you teams are just scared of us? Or does it not mean much to you? Do you think it doesn't offer much hope?
I think what it does is it probably underlines some of the reason for the optimism at the start of the season, I would say. I think when you look at that league table, I think we're the only team in the bottom half of the positive goal difference. And ultimately, the reason for that is very simple. Obviously, we've won games by big margins and we've lost games by small margins. And you combine that together and you get an unusually high goal difference for the league position we're in. What I would say is that I think it shows that probably we've been a better side overall than the teams around us, but we've not been able to convert that into points. How can you score more goals than Preston and concede less and be below them? It doesn't make much sense to me, but there's several clubs in that lower half of the table that is the case. I just think it probably points to our deficiencies that we've spoken about almost on a weekly basis in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
That, we go a goal down and we seem quite clueless as to how to get back into the game. And I think until we solve that, until I see evidence that we're solving that problem, I can't really say that I'm hopeful that next season will be any different. That we'll probably, when teams are cavalier at Ewood and come and attack us and we score in the first 15 minutes of a game, we'll probably go on to win 3 or 4-0. But then when teams get that early goal and sit back and we're a little bit clueless as to what to do to get back in it, we'll lose the games 1-0. And I've yet to see Mowbray bring a formula, a team game plan together that can actually change that. And I think, the root cause of why I was calling for the manager to resign or leave was because I don't think that it's within his grasp to be able to do that. And I think that's probably what we need to do if we want to get up. So, yeah, it points to some of the optimism and some of the positive stats that have been bandied around about XG and things. Like Rovers do appear quite well on all of those charts and a lot better than we have done in previous seasons. But, what do managers live and die by? They live and die by results in the league table and points. And, if Mowbray's being honest, he's fallen short of his own expectations this season. So, yeah, I don't really think there's much else for me to say other than that unless I see evidence that Mowbray's changing his ways, then I can't really say I'm hopeful for next season.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Just quickly, obviously, get your fan watching kind of setup pictures in. Send them to us on Twitter. Obviously, I know some people won't be active on Twitter because they'll be following the boycott and stuff, but feel free to DM the page and we will get them on as we go. I know that this game isn't available to overseas fans for purchase, so we might have a few of you that haven't got a way of watching the game today that we'll be trying to commentate for you. So let us know what your setup's like. And of course, as per usual, let us know where you call him from. Call him where you watch him from, sorry, and how you're viewing us and what country you're in. We've got a few of the flags down in the bottom right. You might notice that Ryan's gone a bit quiet. There's some works going on outside. The neighbour's mowing his lawn. They're sorting out their garden. There's a lot of noise going on. So Ryan is here, but he's just having to tactically mute himself here and there. We are around 10 minutes away from kickoff. So we're going to quickly go to the comments and look for this question from Jacob. What's your thoughts on the EFL Awards the other night? Do you agree with the people that won them? I'm assuming we're just going to talk championship here. Ryan's let me know. Buendia player of the season. Elise young player of the season. Alex, for you, were you happy with?
I would say I'm probably a little bit indifferent to the EFL Awards when Rovers aren't involved. I think, as a Rovers fan, you've got to be realistic that, your team finishes, 14th, 15th in the league in all likelihood, and you can't be expecting your players to be stacking out the team of the season and winning all of these awards, I think.
Well, did Harvey Elliott deserve the Young Player of the Year award? He was shortlisted.
He was shortlisted. I think he probably had a very good claim for it. I think, ultimately, what are these selectors looking at? They'll probably look at 𝒒𝐿𝐼 and go, well, Reading finished 7th and Rovers are 15th. And unfortunately, those are the kind of arbitrary decisions that often take precedence in these awards. So,
well, I was actually quite surprised myself. I thought Elliott was going to win it because of the kind of Liverpool Premier League Sky bias. I thought that would suit the rhetoric a little bit more. If he played for England in the future, it would be a good tidbit for them. He's a Liverpool player. They won the Premier League very recently. So I kind of thought he would win it. But in my mind, out of the 3 that were shortlisted, it was always between 𝒒𝐿𝐼 and Elliott for number 1 for me. I didn't really think Aarons, or Aarons as we now have to call him, which I think is mental. I didn't think he really had much of a claim for it. Yes, Norwich finished top, but I don't think he had as standout a season as he's had before, and he was obviously the oldest of the 3 as well. Player of the season, Stephen says there, maybe Ivan Toney. He got a lot of goals, obviously, but Buendia has been unbelievable, as Dave says here. And I get what you mean. I don't think we really had any. Perhaps Armstrong would say deserved a team of the season slot, but like you say, it is arbitrary, and it's not really the end of the world. It doesn't mean too much, I suppose. But do let us know in the comments, who do you think should have won those awards? It was actually quite a good show. Usually it's not televised, obviously, because it's an in-person thing. But it was quite a good watch, to be honest. I ended up watching United halfway through after the Championship stuff had been done. But yeah, it was a good do. To those of you just joining us, Ryan is still struggling with his audio, so I'm kind of filling in and blagging our way through. We've got 7 minutes till kick-off, so we will do our score predictions. Alex, I'll start with you.
Oh, God. You caught me by surprise there. I predicted a win last week, and I was right. I'm 2 from 2, the most recent watch-alongs, so I've got to go 3 in a row, so I'll go with a... Oh, God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'll go with a 1-0 Rovers win today.
Hey, love that. Ryan has messaged me his prediction, which is a 2-1 Rovers. Shocker, Ryan usually does go for a win. I'm sure he'll laugh at me for saying that now, but yes. And no doubt he'll have said 1-1 on the other side last night and changed his mind. No. So Lee B, 3-1 to the Rovers. Stephen, 5-0. I really hope it is, just for your sake, mate. I really hope that we can win well today. Matt Abraham, 3-2 Rovers. Are now 3-1 because we always find a way to concede. Yeah, pretty much true. Michael Pearson, 3-0 Rovers. Dave Park, 1-1. Forest City, 1-0, and then vomit emojis. So I'm assuming you mean us, and it'll be horrible to watch, or you think we're going to get beat 1-0? Forest City, I'm not bringing that one up because it's got a sweary in it. Gareth Devlin, 2-0 Rovers. Leap Your Man, 2-2. Fearful Rotherham are desperate, and our lads will be on the beach. Yeah, there's a bit of that, perhaps. Callum Robinson, 2-0 Rotherham. Yeah, they are going to be up for it. This is their Brentford away. We've got to give them that. They will be up for it. 2-0 Rovers, Tommy K. Brace, I tell you what. We've been predicting that for a long time. The day he does actually get a goal will be fantastic. I think he's got more of a chance than Nyambe, but happy to be proved wrong on that. I'm with Alex, 1-0 Rovers. Robert wish Buckley was starting. Yeah, we didn't really touch on that much. Alex, do you think Buckley should be in the side?
When Andy Watson, one of our contributors to Rovers Chat, and he does a lot of the stats show on the YouTube channel, so go and watch that if you can. It's really very good. He was doing a spreadsheet about our ratings for the season for each individual member of the squad, and I have to say, when I was going through the list of players, John Buckley is one of those players for me that has flattered to deceive a little bit, that undoubtedly has quality and potential, but I don't think the hype from the manager is often backed up by the standard of performance on the pitch. I think John Buckley is one of those players you bring on when you're 3-0 up and not when you're chasing a game. And until I see him make that difference to try and drive the team forward when it's under pressure and when the game's going against us, I think I'll always have that similar opinion of him. That is he good enough to start every week for us? I'm probably not sure, really. I think there's games that
Can you start in a dead game like this, though? In a game where the result isn't the end of the world, is this not the game to play him in?
I think, after me saying that I was a bit disappointed about the lack of youth earlier on, it's a bit hypocritical of me to say that maybe he shouldn't start. But I think when John Buckley has played this season, has he really staked a claim to being there every week like Travis did when he broke into the side? I can't say he really has, to be honest with you. I like him as a player. When I see him play well, I praise him, and I think he's got a lot of potential there. But as a player to maybe make things, change things up and to transform a game, I've yet to see him do that on a regular enough basis for me to say that he deserves to start every week. But yeah, good player, signed a new contract. He'll definitely be here next season, and we'll probably be seeing more of him as the years go on. And I hope that over those years that he improves and shows the potential that the manager and the coaches think he does have. Because if he does show that potential, then obviously we'll all benefit from that. So yeah, I've got no issues with John Buckley.
Mark Duggan's gone 2-1 Rovers. Dizzy thumbs Rovers to score first and win 3-1. I just think when something's played for, we look bored. When we don't, yeah, okay. In Greenwood, Chelsea fan. 3-0 to Rovers, don't mind that. 2-0 Rotherham. I just think they're going to score first and win. Potentially, I feel like everybody seems to believe that whoever scores first is going to win this one, so no doubt it'll finish 0-0. Libya man, Buckley needs to run a games, to be fair. TM can't keep chopping and changing and expect him to grow. And just as I'm reading out the last score prediction of 2-1 Rovers for me by 𝐿𝐿𝐆𝐶𝐄𝐈, Rovers are making their way out onto the pitch, and lovely to see us in the home kit blue shorts combination. It's a nice little alternative. I love that. I'd love us to have a home kit that had blue shorts just as the default for 1 year, maybe. We've not seen that for a long time. They look great for me, and I know I always say that, but they do look good when they're like that. There's been a lot of talk on the kits the last week. Everybody seems to think they know who the kit manufacturer is, so hopefully we'll get some more details on that soon. Ryan, thumbs up, thumbs down. Are we still in trouble? Are we still struggling? Oh, dear. Okay. Well, me and Alex will have to power through and try and describe what we're seeing. Let us know in the comments if you're not watching the game, if you're abroad, if you're struggling to find it, if you need us to kind of give you as much info as possible on what we're seeing, and we'll be happy to do that. Ronan, I can't hear Ryan say it. He's still very handsome. Brilliant. Are you Hikmet in disguise is the question. Oh, now Steve, what's he mowing? Corporation Park. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Michael, I want to go back to no name, no number, no sponsor. Oh, I don't know how Recoverite would feel about that, having paid for it. Ryan's interacting with you in the comments, though, so you've still got your hit of Mr. Ryan Hildred. So yeah, Rovers players have made their way out onto the pitch. We'll be kicking off imminently. Yeah, and we've kind of run out of all the talking points. It's just a case of waiting for kickoff. Not much else.
The only major talking point that I want to talk about is the fact that Joe knows what the kit manufacturer is and won't tell anyone. That's like the biggest joke ever.
Well, I can't. You know how it is.
I'm in luck.
He's done it. It's done.
Welcome back, Ryan Hildred.
Oh, God. I can't describe how loud that was. You just would not have wanted that over the airwaves. So that was good. Well done, Joe. I thought you did a cracking job hosting there. So
I tried my best.
I'm out
I
of a job.
looking forward to trying to sync the live streams up in silence. That would have been a pretty.
Yeah, that would have been fun. You'd have been going, wait till 30.
Oh, dear. It's
on the kit front, Alex, it was quite entertaining seeing the like 2 months ago. Oh, it's Puma, etc., etc. Oh, it's Kappa. I know it's Kappa, and that's been quite fun. And you get to spot who's in the know and who's saying they're in the know, which has been quite.
And every single kit manufacturer has been skewered. Whichever one it'll be, it won't please everyone. That's another entertaining point.
No, it was nice to see the tweet on the official Rovers account about the retro kits, and that's got good implications about us being able to reproduce some old kits going forward, which is good. Should we do a time sync?
Yes. What are you on, Joe?
37, 38, 39.
Let's pause on 45. Or yep. I'm on 43, 44, 45. Was that kind of...
I'm on 43, 44.
Right, we'll pause on a minute then, Joe.
Yeah. You tell us when you're at a minute, Alex.
56, 57, 58, 59, 1 minute.
Bro. There we go. That's Rotherham across the ball. Oh, my days.
Oh, God.
Fell for Ladapo on the edge of the box, and it's a Rotherham corner, just as we were saying that. Gee whiz. Lee B, I don't know if you picked this one up, Joe. Sorry, but thank you for the super chat there, Lee. Thank you, mate. Jaffa Cake Fund. Love it. Thank you for the super chat. I'm very grateful for your support. But yeah, Rotherham corner. Straight up. So here we go. It's going to be played in. Ooh, Kaminski was under a lot of pressure there and did manage to punch it away.
Every team seems to basically shoot from corners against us. But it's weird because I don't think Kaminski's ever made a mistake from one.
So why have you said that? Why have you said that, Joe?
No, but you know what I mean, though. It's not like... You remember the game where _Pears played and we played Middlesbrough and they shot from every corner because he looked really rubbish from them. It made sense, and you thought, you know what, yeah, he always looks under pressure. I don't blame them for doing it. But every side we faced, they basically shoot. And it's never gone in. And I know I'm now jinxing us, but it is weird that every side's done it. And the fact that every side's done it says that they're seeing something in Kaminski or in our setup that we're not seeing.
I know that some of you, because this game's been selected for international broadcast, some of you aren't watching. So some of you down in Australia and maybe across in America, let us know if you're not watching, and we will try our best to describe the action.
And if you're not talk about crisps.
Yeah, not talk about... Although we do like talking about crisps. It's been a good feature of the show this year. Someone's picking up on your fresh cut there, Joe. Piccadilly Pilgrim, fresh cuts, Joe.
Yes, I've been to the salon for the first time in over a year. It was quite fun. Very nice and entertaining. Nice to chat to people and get out into the world this week. It's all... getting a bit more exciting, isn't it?
So we've got a dangerous free kick here. Dizzy and other people not watching. Sam Gallagher just driving in from the left, was clipped by Lindsay, and it's going to be a good chance for Joe Rothwell to cross this in right-footed from the left-hand side. So it's going to be an in-swinger. Rotherham have got their line probably about the penalty spot area. Yeah, right on the penalty spot. They've got a line, and they're actually...
Come on, Darragh.
Rothwell plays in, and it's punched away by Blackman.
Free kick as well. Yes, Piccadilly Pilgrim. Salon. Absolutely. You get a coffee and a little, what's it called? A biscoff. And, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, those little biscuits.
Yeah.
I didn't know it were called the Salon in Wigan. It's just the barbers in Blackburn.
Well, I got to like a salon with like women. I don't care, me. It doesn't affect my masculinity. I prefer the nice head massage, the comfy seats, magazine, coffee. Love that. All about it.
How much do you pay?
14 quid.
We've got royalty in the house today.
Jared, I don't know if you were watching earlier on, Jared, but I did make my confession today. After Dan put it in the chat, in the tweet today for the watch along, where he said that we're looking forward to someone saying apparel. I did actually Google how apparel is pronounced. So I am wrong. I admit it.
Am I saying salon wrong?
Salon.
Or is that just...
No, salon is. I'd say salon.
Is that just because America? It's like, what is it, saloon or something?
Salon is the pronunciation of anyone that lives north of like Watford, I think.
What would they call it?
I've got no idea.
Oh, right.
They don't have salons in Cornwall, so I don't know.
So there we go. 5 minutes in, Rovers up the field. We've got a throw in. Oh, intelligent throw in there from Bell right into the infield, but Armstrong didn't control it well enough. And now Rotherham are on the break. Ladapo's held it up, and yeah, Rovers have just managed to get themselves in now.
So Wickham have gone the goal up against Bournemouth. That's a funny result.
Well, I think for Bournemouth, the season's pretty much done because
probably resting players, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to say for them, they're probably definitely on the beach until the playoffs.
I want anyone but Bournemouth to go up, by the way. I just think it'll be such a watershed moment for the Championship if the 3 relegated sides go straight back up again. Would it be the first time ever?
I don't know. But if it did happen, I hope that it would perhaps spark a conversation about parachute payments being way too high. If the 3 relegated sides are just the 3 that keep going up, what's the point in everyone else giving it a go? Why do Watford need £300 million over 3 seasons to try and get back up again? 1 season worth of money to cover wages for players that are under contract from Premier League seasons, I get. But if you give them a year to either get rid of those players or move them on or loan them out or release them, I don't think you need 3 years of parachute payments to keep those clubs going. And the longer it goes on, the bigger the gap between League One and Championship will be, and Championship and Premier League.
Yeah,
100%. I think.
Go ahead, Alex.
I think in football we need to have a conversation about the problems that we've got in English football. I think, particularly after the events of the last couple of weeks, we've got a lot of issues to sort out, and I think one of the big ones is parachute payments. I mean, Rovers have been the beneficiaries of that when the time came that we were relegated. But, as you say, Joe, that the money that's involved now in these parachute payments and the time that's that they're used for and the means that they're used for as well, there just needs to be a lot tighter controls over it for me. And
well, you end up with Premier League clubs getting relegated and buying players rather than selling them, which
spending
is
more money.
Yeah, more money than they spent in the Premier League, which is just wrong, in my opinion. I mean, Bournemouth, if they don't go back up, they might have to sell some players because you can't maintain that Premier League wages. They've sold a few, Josh King, Callum Wilson, but they've also bought players and all the clubs do it, and it is frustrating. And the reason that you get yo-yo teams coming up and coming down is that the gap between that Championship and lower Premier League is just widening every year. And I think unless something changes, we're going to see what we've seen this season every year for some time to come.
Yeah, and if you think about what the Championship is probably marketing itself on, it's the fact it's a hugely competitive division, and it will just ebb that away if it's the same. If it's just Fulham, Norwich, Watford, Brighton, whoever, just going up and down and recycling like that, just completely undermines the product. And Stephen, I think, if I think about Sunderland, I think they had their final Premier League parachute payment when they were in League One.
It's just a year-by-year thing,
Yeah.
I think another interesting point to make, though, is that when Rovers were promoted from League One, that was all of the 3 clubs promoted that year from League One that were relegated from the Championship the previous year.
Yeah.
Which is another interesting thing because that's not happened since. And I think that was probably the first time that's ever happened. So I think you can get, on occasion, just due to pot luck, that 3 clubs do bounce straight back. But I think...
Yeah. I would love it. I would absolutely love it if Barnsley or Swansea went up. That would be great. But it will be Bournemouth, won't it? We just know it will be because that's in those big
games. History of falling short in the playoffs, and
we've got World Away Days. A Rotherham fan, how you feeling about the game? I think it's up the effing Millers there. How you feeling? This could be your date with destiny. So good to have you on the channel. But yeah, that season when that League One season that you reference, those clubs down there, really should Rovers have been going down, in the state that we're in, should we really have been in the position to pay Charlie Mulgrew what we did and keep those players like we did? Probably not. And it's that debate, isn't it, around football? And, a team like Shrewsbury can probably find themselves pretty hard done by this season because they had the season of their life where everything came together and it still wasn't enough because of
Well, it's funny, isn't it, though, because that year, Rotherham came up with us and Wigan, but they weren't the third best team in the league. Shrewsbury absolutely deserved promotion that season. Just unfortunately for them, there were two good sides ahead of them. They'd have finished first any other year.
Yeah.
Which is a shame for them, and they never made it. And now, in the situation they're in where they are now, they probably won't for some years to come,
Yeah, and then on the other hand, if you ask all of the league clubs, do they want the playoffs to be abolished and just have the top three automatically be promoted? They'll probably chalk on what it is they're eating that particular day, because they'll say, well, no, it reduces competitiveness and reduces the opportunity for more clubs to be involved.
Well, money. There's too much money in the playoffs, isn't there?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're just coming up to 12 minutes in this game. It feels like it's a pretty open game, but not much has happened so far. You can see Rotherham are certainly up for it, and they've hit another ball down the right-hand channel. So there seems to be a bit of space. I've noticed that a couple of times now between Harwood Bellis and Bell. So the spot in that channel.
They're aiming for him, aren't they, Bell?
Yeah, they are. And Ogbene's had a run down that side as well. So I think Rotherham is certainly targeting that left-hand side of Rovers, certainly.
What you say, Joe, is true, and they've offered Bell a new contract. I just can't believe that, I'll be honest with you.
I suppose it's one of them.
Not that I don't believe you, but just that I'm staggered. I'm staggered by it, but there you go.
Well, a second choice left back, do you want to pay Amari Bell $5,000 a week, or do you want to pay Barry Douglas $15,000 a week to sit on the bench? And I suppose as second choice, it makes sense. I think if I was looking at the finances, I'd probably tell them to make the same decision. But I know it's not just about finance. We just have to hope that Harry Pickering's as good as we hope he's going to be.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't feel like, when Ryan Nyambe first broke in, it doesn't feel like we've got a left back equivalent of a Nyambe coming through from the academy, unless you tell me, Joe.
Well, Lenny Serino is getting a lot of praise from different clubs and different scouts and Rovers fans, although chance for Rovers. Adam Armstrong.
Oh, what a tackle.
Great tackle. Serino is good, he's fast, but he's not ready for championship football. He was playing under-18s football last year. He needs time to fill out physically. And I would say moving forward, he's pretty good. But again, going backwards, he would need to work on some of the defensive stuff. So, no, probably not somebody right there on the cusp ready to come in. Great ball for Brereton.
Yeah, here we go. Brio's into the box, pulls it across the 6-yard. Bell can retrieve this, though. So still not out of the woods yet, Rotherham. In for Armstrong, who's going to pull it back, and no one there. So that first chance that we had, Gallagher flicked it on, and Armstrong looked like he was going to drive into the box, but it was a fantastic tackle from McDonald just to hook the ball back from Armstrong's legs. As Rotherham are now up in our box, and I think we're going to get this away. If Lenihan's going to clear that.
Oh, that wasn't the right idea from Gallagher there. That was,
a chance there for Rotherham. Ladapo didn't quite get hold of his shot, so it's Lenihan who did clear it. The Rotherham defender did really well to judge the bounce. It went into Smith, who chests it down. Ball played into Ladapo, and he just didn't get his shot away, and it went straight into Kaminski's arms.
The crew forward, if we're going to bring in a crew forward, it's Charlie Kirk for me, not the striker. I gather that that's agent talk. Whenever you see a player linked with 5 teams at once, it's definitely an agent at work. But no, I'd rather see Charlie Kirk come in for me off the left, work well with Pickering, cheap release clause on his contract. I think he's the best option for me.
Here come Rotherham. It's that space again on that left-hand side. So there's definitely a gap that Rotherham are exploiting between Harwood Bellis and Bell. Ogbene clips it in. Lenihan. Oh, it's not a good header.
Clearance.
Oh, A bit loose at the back there, Rovers. Not the
Well
most
done,
convincing
Brereton.
we have
Oh,
got.
Come on.
Go on, Bria.
God,
That's the fastest I've ever seen Brereton run.
That was absolutely...
He's still got amazing acceleration, but once he's in motion, he is fast.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's just a ball played over, and Brio was 30, 40 yards away from the Rotherham defender and made up so much ground, but he did get there in the end. The Rotherham
lovely run. Go on.
Go on, lad. Go on,
Oh, and there's Rothwell's problem in a nutshell, isn't it? It's that final ball.
Yeah,
Robert Chapman's not going to be here next year. Despite the fact we were told he would be, he's now not being offered a contract extension, so make of that what you will. God,
I just think that the contract decisions are very inconsistent. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. When you look at Bell on the one hand and then you look at Chapman, it feels like the club is generous to the point of lunacy in some cases and incredibly harsh in others. And I just, yeah.
Well, I think that comes down to the coach's relationship with the player. And I think clearly Mowbray and Chapman haven't been close for a long time.
And I think my example of that would be giving down in a year's contract and not extending Rothwell's contract early enough or not.
Oh, there we go. Adam Armstrong has nicked the ball back. Yes!
Come on!
Brilliant. Adam Armstrong, superb. Robs the Rotherham defender.
That's why they're going down.
Yeah, it was not good defending. On this game, it's McDonald, the centre-back version of McDonald, not the centre-mid version of McDonald. Amari Bell's just absolutely lofted the ball, pinged it down the pitch. He's miscontrolled the ball, McDonald. Armstrong's nicked it off him, raced in, and then think of the finish away at Birmingham City earlier on in the season. He's kind of in that portion of the box.
I was going to say Josh King against Stoke in the FA Cup kind of goal.
Yeah, that's it. In that area, just slots it into the right corner of the box. Brilliant. Brilliant from Adam Armstrong.
I think the goalkeeper, Adam Armstrong's second touch was really poor. It was really far out in front of him. And if the keeper was a bit more on his feet, he could have come and claimed that, I think. But he hesitated just a little bit, and then he was kind of stuck, really. He wasn't far enough back to get a hand to it, and he wasn't far enough forward to put him under pressure. So in the end, a nice, easy finish for him.
That goal actually sends Rotherham bottom of the league.
Jeez. I mean, Paul Warne is going to be absolutely devastated with that. I mean, Rotherham didn't start too bad in my mind. I thought the game was pretty open. They were going for it, and it's just a mistake. When you need a stellar performance at the back, he's been let down there, Paul Warne. So, yeah, shame for Rotherham, but brilliant from Adam Armstrong to rob the defender. Brilliant.
Well, it's what he's best at, isn't it? And I think it's the same as some of the praise that Sam Burns has been getting in the under-23s. It's that ability as a forward to say, okay, I'm not going to get the ball very often in this game. It's my job to go and put pressure on those forward men and run for 90 minutes, and win that ball back myself. No one else is going to do that job for me. And I think Adam Armstrong does embody that. And I think nobody could accuse him of a lack of effort. And yeah, I mean, that's another for the season. It just gives me hope that we'll get a decent enough price for him in the window. Yeah, because the more goals he gets in these last two games, the better.
Definitely. Lovely finish as well. Lovely finish.
Do we know if the fee that we get for Armstrong in a hypothetical world has a big bearing on the budget that we have, or is the budget pretty much set in stone anyway, and that really any revenue from Armstrong will just cover running costs and wages and other things?
Jesus, Ben Berg. It's a good question. I don't really know, but I think Rovers have known their summer budget for a long time, which is different to usual. The Pickering signing says that they kind of had an idea of what the summer plans were back in January, really. And as they've said, it's going to be loans, frees, cheap signings from lower divisions. So I would imagine if they're saying that, if Armstrong does go, maybe that money goes towards the January budget and the following summer's budget. But I just can't see us going out and spending, 7 million. I just can't see us doing it.
No, I wasn't expecting that either. And I was just wondering what the club was really looking to do this summer, because you hear rumours that the club are already discussing players for next season and signings, and you're reluctant to kind of get on the gravy train of stupid rumours at this point. But I think
well played.
It's just interesting that things tend to be in place earlier than they have been in previous seasons.
Yeah, I would say, I think perhaps COVID has helped with that, but everything seems to be a bit more planned this year. Perhaps it's just looks so much more planned compared to last year because of COVID, but the kits are ready to go. They should come out earlier than they did last year. Season tickets, apart from discussing the price of, they're pretty much set with how it will work, and everybody getting the same season, using the same season ticket as before, and just, and then obviously players, that seems to have been pretty nailed down in terms of who's A, B, and C choice in each position for a while. So I would say they do look organised. Maybe that's because they're now used to not going over to India. Perhaps the Venky's have been forced to communicate via digital means a bit more because Tony can't go over there. Maybe that means a line has been opened up where conversations about next season can be had, from the comfort of Tony's living room. I don't know.
I mean, he's not going to be going there for a while, is he, with what's going on in India? It's absolutely dreadful over there.
And in June specifically as well.
Yeah.
Our thoughts go out to everyone in India at the moment because the situation is just terrible over there, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, just on the budget and stuff for next season, Rovers fans, let us know what you think in the comments. But, if it was just going to be a very transitionary season next season where we don't spend much and maybe we do, again, just become mid-table, but have a think that, the season after next one is where we might spend a bit of money and go again and go for it. Would you be happy with that type of season next season?
I think what you've got to accept as well is that a little bit like when you buy houses and the housing market, Rovers are very much dictated by what the market does.
Yeah.
There might be 3 players where we said, if he was available, we would spend £2 million on him, but they won't sell him because they can't buy him, because they won't sell him, etc., etc., etc. And the market's going to be static because so many clubs don't have money because of COVID, etc., etc., that nobody's going to sell anybody. I mean, when should be two. I'll finish the point and then you can do the thing, Ryan. When we sold Raya, obviously that was a knock-on thing. Brentford sold their goalkeeper so that we could sell Raya, so that we could buy Gallagher, etc., etc., and it'll be like that, I'd imagine.
Really good play there. Joe Rothwell driving from the midfield. I think he exchanged a pass with Ben Brio first, and then he got it back, laid it in behind for Adam Armstrong. He's about 6-7 yards out. Blackman, to be fair, really did. It was a good save rushing out of his goal, and it's gone out for a corner.
Great
good save from Blackman there. So here we go. Rothwell to take. Ooh, and headed clear. But yeah, good save from Blackman. Armstrong might be a bit disappointed, but I don't think he did too much wrong there. Armstrong, it was just really good rushing out from Blackman. But yeah, brilliant from Joe Rothwell. Yeah,
that's what he can do, isn't it? That's the Rothwell that is exciting to watch.
Who we need to sign up to a new contract.
Corner ball for Rovers there. Good. Ryan Nyambe, probably the first time I've seen him really attack in the last few games. I don't know what he's been doing these last few games, but that rampaging right back, he just not seen that in him recently. So it's another corner out on that right-hand side. Joe Rothwell to take again. Cleared away. Back for... Blackman.
I love that from Brereton. What we haven't seen since Danny Graham is attackers that close down the goalkeeper in case it's spilled, and it's spilled there and Brereton's right on him. That is striker's instinct, and that's promising to see that.
Yeah.
That's not ability. That's just knowing where to be on the pitch.
Yeah.
And
the desire and the hunger to get yourself there. Yeah.
And that can get you 5 goals a season. Absolutely.
And if Brereton did have an extra 5 goals a season from that, and he was currently on 10 or 11 at the age that he's at, people would be really excited about him, So it's good to see him start to do that. I think that positional awareness is really important.
mean, this is really good to see from Rovers at the moment. We look supremely comfortable in this game since that goal. We're looking like we're going to get another goal. 60% of possession has just popped up as well. So Rovers really in control of this game and looking like...
Go, Rotherham!
Hey, that's not me jinxing that. That's just Blackburn Rovers all over, isn't it?
Sorry, that was a joke, everyone. There isn't a Rotherham goal. I'm conscious that I might have just mugged a bunch of people off who were not really paying attention, and I've just said that.
Oh.
Here we go.
Go on.
In that middle. Joe Rothwell. Here we go. No.
Oh, right. It was offside. Christ on a bike. That was a late call.
25 minutes in, we're looking really good here, Rovers. Really good. I'm just going to check the Derby score. That's still 0-0. As it stands, all three of them are getting relegated at the same time. If Derby hang on to that point at Swansea. So that can't have happened very often either.
No, I think whether Derby stay up or go down, I don't think Rooney's the man. I just don't think he's there yet. It reminds me of when Paul Scholes had a quick go and then went, yeah, maybe not yet.
Yeah. And it's just that old adage, isn't it, that you can be a fantastic player but doesn't necessarily translate into being a great manager.
Go on, Ben. Lovely from Brereton. Pretty rich from Rothwell, though.
In fact, a lot of the best managers in the world at the moment were kind of second tier, third tier players.
Yeah. Well, even look at somebody like Gareth Southgate. He was not a world-class footballer.
No.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. Sorry, that comment from my mum there has just reminded me how excited and nervous I am for tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Oh, it's going to be...
Who else in the comments is a big Line of Duty watcher? I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
I nearly put my name as H on the name badge today. I thought that would have been funny, but I didn't know if anybody would get it.
I've already said to my missus that if they do anything to suggest that Ted Hastings is bent or in any way H, there are items of furniture going through my television.
Exactly.
I'm not even joking. If they are not even doing that, so you have been warned, Jed Mercurio.
I think it's Kate. I think Kate's going to be bad in the end.
No.
Oh, don't say that.
I said this, though. I said at the end of the day, it's got to be one of them. If it's not one of those three, if it's not Kate or Steve or Ted, I think it's going to be a bit boring, a bit of a letdown. If it's just some random character, I don't think I'll find it that interesting.
Oh, chance for Ogbene there. Big chance for Rotherham. So it's a cross in from the left. I think he should do better with this header. You know, he's 6, 7, 8 yards out and he's missed the right upright. Let's just have a look at this. Yeah, he's unmarked. He should do way better there, Ogbene. He's come in from the right-hand side. That should be 1-1. Free header, and it's gone wide.
You just know that the final scene is going to be Carmichael in a flat with a glass of red wine spelling definitely wrong on a laptop.
Oh, no way. Imagine. Yeah, I just feel like if it's not one of the big three characters, it'll just be a bit flat. I think it's got to be one of them, a big twist to make everyone go, no. Otherwise, it's
got to be a twist that makes sense, though.
Yeah, true.
Not a twist for twist's sake.
Go on, Amari.
Go on.
Oh.
Free kick ref, surely? Yeah, given.
I think a lot of our international viewers will be confused as to what we're referring to here.
It is available on BritBox for any American viewers. It's probably the best TV to come out of the British Isles since Downton Abbey, I'd say, or it certainly is in terms of viewing figures. But I do wonder whether British policing would translate over in America, etc.
So here we go. Rovers got a free kick deep in the Rotherham half. Joe Rothwell again. He's been on set pieces. Rotherham have got their defensive line on the 18-yard line this time. So here we go. Rothwell.
Go on.
Ooh, and it's headed clear.
Oh,
did look like handball. Rotherham look like they're going to break here. They've got numbers going forward. Ladapo, they've got some spaces.
Go on.
It's poor.
Well done,
He's giving the free
Johnson.
kick. Giving the free kick. Did you answer this one from Michael? about Neil Morrissey, I'm guessing, is who Michael's talking about. He's not been in it for a few seasons.
I'd love them to bring him back in it for this final episode.
I think Chloe is Tony Gates' daughter, because he had two daughters, Tony Gates, in the early seasons, and one of them was called Chloe.
That would make sense.
I think that is a bit tinfoil.
No, one of his daughters was called Chloe, and now there's mysteriously a Chloe working in AC12. Come on.
I mean, come on. Chloe isn't exactly a rare name in the UK.
Sorry? I think a lot of it's red herrings, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a load of red herrings, which is why Hastings being bent is going to stay as a red herring, else my TV is not going to be in repair tomorrow night. Yeah.
No, but they'll keep that red herring going, and then it'll be something else. It's just what it's going to be, I suppose.
I actually love that man. Love him. So half an hour gone. That big chance for Ogbene a couple of minutes ago, the only real big chance that Rotherham have had. But on the whole, Rovers have looked okay. We've looked comfortable, and we're looking dangerous every time we go forward, to be honest.
Nice Ben Brio return. Again.
Oh, free kick, yeah. Well done, Ben Brio. That's what I want to see more from Brio. You know, we've spoken about it before, that Jack Grealish type where you just earn those free kicks and earn those chances from free kicks in and around the box just by being cute and being clever. And he's done that there. I think he's earned that free kick a little bit, but now we've got a chance right on the edge of the box.
I think Ben Brereton earns every free kick he wins because he's very rarely actually fouled.
Yeah. But I do think it's unfortunately part of the modern game, and if you can't beat them, join them. Which is why for me I'd have Jack Grealish in that England squad. You know, if we're chasing a game, get him on, get him earning free kicks in and around. Here we go, Rothwell to take this in. Oh!
He took his head off on the post there.
I think it was just over his head. I think let's just have a look. Yeah, he's stretching. So Rothwell's put a lovely ball in, just too high for Sam Gallagher. He's literally 2-3 yards out. Difficult chance for Gallagher to get his head onto that, and it's obviously gone high and wide, and then he's gone into the post
initially from that free kick.
Tough chance for Gallagher there, I thought.
By far the worst line of duty theory is that Martin Constance starts talking a Scottish accent at the end and declares himself Tommy Hunter. That is...
Oh my God. Because he is Scottish.
Oh God. I think it's the chief woman. That's who my money's on.
I think it's too obvious. She's such a bitch and so mean that it can't be her. Do you know what I mean? It would be too obvious that.
So Rovers have, I didn't see if that went out for a throw-in or a goal kick, but it's 33 minutes in now. There's a goal kick, so it's just been launched forward by Kaminski. Oh, Stephen, take a bow. H is Harvey Elliott. Paul Warne is looking a very frustrated figure at the moment. That is for sure. He'll be desperately disappointed with the goal, and Rovers have been in cruise control, really comfortable in this game. Still 0-0 at Swansea, so Rotherham do need to come back in this game, else they are relegated.
Paul Warne stood there on the sidelines thinking, how on earth am I losing to this lot?
I think he's thinking, what do I say in the press conference to try and keep my job for next year?
Actually, they're not relegated unless Derby score, I should tell a lie, because I keep forgetting about Rotherham's game in hand. So Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe would be relegated as it stands. But even though Rotherham are bottom, they wouldn't be, because they could get to 45 points. Derby has
still got the 2 games to play.
Yeah. But it'll certainly be OK Corral if Derby were to score at Swansea. They'd have to go for it then. There's a little break in play here as McDonald, the centre-back who made the mistake, is down with an injury. It looks like he's going to be changed. So that's going to make my life easier that I don't have to say centre-mid version of McDonald and centre-back version of McDonald.
I'm loving these comments. I'd love it if it was.
It's H actually, Joe. Yes. H from Steps. I mean, that would just be...
They've been going on about H for so long. I don't even know how initially H came about. It was
the Morse code that Dot did when he was dying. Then realised it was 4 people or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because Carmichael tapped her pen on the paper 4 times and people thought that meant she was H.
What? Now that is tinfoil. Goodness sake. So McDonald is going to be replaced here. He's got an injury. He's going off. It's number 19. Let me look in their list of subs. It's Harding. Harding is going to come on for McDonald here.
Interesting shout, Si. I quite like Chris Coleman, actually. I don't know about a very nice bloke, a good footballing man, a lot of connections. Is he the man for us? I don't know, but good point.
He's billed as a good manager because Gareth Bale scored a few free kicks in 2016.
Brutal from Alex Lomax.
Anyone who comments to the contrary in the comments, you're wrong.
He's not sitting on the fence.
No, he's blown the fence up with some TNT.
That's it. Oh dear, oh dear.
Perhaps we should do a Line of Duty watch along, Ryan.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I've got a good evening tomorrow because we've got the stream for the 20 years since promotion, and then it'll be straight into Line of Duty. So nice evening tomorrow. So yeah, if you've not seen that, 7 p.m. tomorrow, we've got Marcus Bent, Craig Short, and John Curtis on a live stream with me to talk about that promotion season 20 years ago. So set your alarms for 7 p.m.
And then we're straight back into it on Monday. We've got a European scouting show Monday night around 7:30. Get some tea down me before we start.
What's the plan for that one then? What are you covering?
So it's a little bit like the League One show that we did, but obviously with it being European, there's the work permit to consider. So we're going to talk through the work permits, the GBE, how it works, who's going to qualify, who's not, and go through some examples. Then we're going to go through some nations. So we'll do Holland, Belgium, Portugal, Germany, France, Spain. Talk about some players that we think might be championship ready, some players that we think might make an English move or do well in English football. We'll have opinions from loads of different people. We'll go through some of those players, go through some of their stats, and yeah, talk about where they might end up. There's quite a few good names in there. There's one that's been spotted that I'm really excited about, which I can't wait to share. And Andy will be joining me for a bit, and loads of other different guests. So hopefully people can tune in and get something out of it. We'll be live around 7:30 on Monday with that one.
You forgot to mention the guest appearance from Alistair Campbell to restart the rejoin the EU campaign.
Yeah, when I made the graphic, I was really conscious of not putting the Rovers chat badge too close to the European Union logo, because then it kind of looks like we're taking a really strong political stance, doesn't it?
Rovers chat is scrupulously impartial on the European question.
Yeah. Chris Coleman's a rubbish manager, and we're all in.
Oh, here we go. Rotherham just breaking. Oh, and Lewis Travis has done well just to mop up the danger there. Looked like they were just going to break into our box. It's been a weird 5 minutes or so. It's just been a little lull. Rovers not getting forward as much as we were and not looking as dangerous as we were. But
another Rovers free kick here.
We are
That's a
5
great
minutes.
shout, by the way. Sorry, from Piccadilly here. Absolutely a great shout. Love that.
He's featured before, hasn't he, in some discussions? And I think wages was an issue previously, was it?
Yeah, well, and as per, you've always got that work permit to consider. The German second, the French second, and the Spanish second divisions are all incredibly difficult to buy from now because the banding just doesn't work towards them. But, Brazil, Argentina, and the nations across the globe become easier to buy from. So it's going to be an interesting landscape. There's rumours that Huddersfield have already gone to South America. I think they're going to be the first team that really explore that market. They've already brought in one young Brazilian. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Yeah. Ollie, time check, 40 minutes, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Was that bang on for you two?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I think that is now the 7th time Ben Brereton has won a free kick in this game. Crikey.
Yeah, that's Nat Phillips. I have got no doubt, Michael, if it wasn't for the whole Van Dijk and injury scenario at Liverpool this season, Nat Phillips would have been loaned out by Liverpool. Absolutely no doubt about that. Oh, here we go. Sam Gallagher.
Oh,
that's
not
terrible.
strong enough. For a 6'5" man, it's just not strong enough.
There was a little mistake by Rotherham at the back there that Gallagher did exploit, but then as Joe says, he wasn't strong enough to make anything of it. But here we go again with Rothwell and Armstrong driving, but they've got it away.
Oh, well played, Bradley Johnson.
Well
Great
done.
positioning. Blocks the pass forward. We've won it back. Love to see that from Rovers. Nice from Johnson. Oh, that is proper midfield play. That really impressive from Johnson. Chance now. Rothwell!
We are doing really well today, I think, at driving in that space in front of the back four. We are really exploiting that space well. Rothwell's done it on a number of occasions, and it was Ben Brio that time, and he pulled it back after driving towards the box for Joe Rothwell, and he just sliced his left foot shot wide. It was a fair few yards wide in the end, but really good from Brio just to drive at Rotherham in that space.
That was one of Glenn Entwistle's drives, that.
Man of the half. I'm going to be really bold and go against everything I believe in and say that I think Amari Bell's played quite well. I don't think he's man of the half, but I would say it's probably his best 45 in a Rovers shirt for a long time.
Yeah, he's done good. It looked a bit disturbing in the first 10 minutes when they were exploiting that space, but then we seem to have just addressed that now. But for me, man of the half is Rothwell. Just constant threat from that midfield area, certainly.
I think perhaps Brereton, he has won a lot of free kicks driving forward. Would Armstrong be a bit moany about scoring and not winning it? I don't know. Alex, what about you?
I mean, I absolutely have to take the credit for Brereton showing some form in the last 2 games after my reverse jinx the other week.
Go on, Ben. He's off again.
Here he goes again. I agree, though. I think you've got to probably mention Brereton as up there with one of the best players this half. I think what we've done well today, though, is we've got that early goal as we talked about before, and then we've won the ball back when we've lost it. And winning the ball back quite quickly when losing it is a real advantage in this league. It doesn't give the opposition any momentum and chance to kind of build anything. So I think that's been the most impressive thing for me this half.
Rotherham.
I don't know why he turned around there.
No, it's going to be not a corner. That came off Ladapo, surely. Yep, it's gone out for a goal kick. Dara. So Dara's gone up with Ladapo there. It looks like he's just got a little knock. So we'll just see. I think he's going to be okay.
Tony Harrington's the ref. We've got a win, a draw, and a loss under his command this season. So a mixed bag, not like Gavin Ward, who we've still never won a game. 7 times in the last 2 seasons, Gavin Ward's refereed us, and we've still not won. I don't understand how he gets assigned to us. It's mental. Surely that has to be looked into by FIFA for corruption. 7 games and we've not won.
Oh, just brilliant. George Ware on a free. George Ware, what a striker he was. Unbelievable.
Isn't he a politician now?
Yeah, I want to say even further than that, Alex. I didn't know if he actually made it to Prime Minister or President.
Where?
Yeah.
Liberia.
Sounded like I was just saying his name a bit wrong there.
So there's 3 minutes added on at the end of this half, presumably mostly for that.
What, Amari?
But here we go, yeah, Amari Bell. Oh.
I mean, to be fair to him there, nobody moved, did they? He had the ball there and they all went, right, and just stood next to him. It was pretty poor from Brereton, that, actually.
Dave's just recalled that funny story. His George Ware's cousin. You know that story, surely.
No, go on.
So as when Graham Souness was manager of Southampton, I think it was late.
Oh, yes.
Late 90s. I can't remember what the chap's name was, but he lasted like half a half.
It's embarrassing that it got to that stage, though.
I know. I'll have to Google the guy's name. It was absolutely brilliant, though. Just like for someone like Graham Souness as well to fall for that. You just imagine Souness like, yeah, let's throw him on. We need a goal. And then you just see the...
Oh, dear.
Oh, Ali Deer. That was his name. Ali Deer. Graham, 96-97 season. Oh, fantastic.
Bengali Fode Koita. Wow.
His career as well. This is Ali Deer's career.
Don't tell me he's got like a Wikipedia page like he's a footballer.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He's got one. So he's got...
Who doesn't have a Wikipedia page? I think Ryan does at this point.
Brilliant. Go on, pick it up. Chance here.
Yeah, there is a chance. I'm just going to shut up for a moment.
Not
so Sam Gallagher just cutting inside.
It's gone to Gallagher, so it's been wasted.
I know, but there was nothing on there. Where was he supposed to go with it? Everybody ran away and there was nothing on, no pass available. That's all.
Oh. Yeah. So there's 40 seconds left of the half. So Ali Deer's clubs, a few French. So he's got a total of, that looks about 20 career appearances in total for these clubs. Beauvais, Dijon, La Rochelle. Here we go. We'll just wait though. Ben Brio.
Go on.
Bang it, Joey.
Oh, if he had end product, he would be knocking on Gareth Southgate's door. He's got everything but the ability to pass and shoot.
It was Ben Brio again, going down that right-hand side, cuts it inside, edge of the box to Joe Rothwell. He makes the space.
Why can't he shoot? It's just so bizarre. I just can't work it out.
He either tickles it to the goalkeeper along the floor or it hits row Z.
Mm. Yeah, that was a bit like he made the space for himself. He's got to hit the target at least there, and he's smashed that high and wide. And it is half-time now. Half-time, Rovers 1-0. Largely comfortable half that for Rovers. Maybe a bit of a, first 10 minutes, Rotherham looked like they were going to exploit some spaces, but really it's been fairly easy for Rovers. And in particular, we're getting a lot of joy driving through that midfield area. Rothwell, Brio, Gallagher at times, Amari Bell at times. We've really been driving through Rotherham, so that's been good to see. Joe, will you need a brew? Your mum says.
Yes, I'll need a brew. Thank you, Ma. I'll have 2 sugars and a coffee, please. And I'll also have a wee. So let me know when I'm going for a little break. Ryan, are you having a break as well, or are you going to stay?
I'm going to stay. I'm feeling all right. You just go. You go and relieve yourself, Joe.
See you later.
So there we go. Alex, 1-0 half-time. Really comfortable. That was... that one chance from Ogbene for Rotherham, it's really all they've had. It's been a good performance from Rovers, really, hasn't it? Largely comfortable.
Yeah, I think I've been impressed with it today. I think it probably continues the theme of playing well when the pressure's off, I think. But I think, yeah, Rovers have done what they needed to do today. They've let Rotherham make the mistakes and they've kind of punished them for it. I mean, getting that early goal makes a huge difference, doesn't it? It gives us that little bit of confidence, and then, you know, we have that comfort of sitting a bit deeper and picking up the ball and running with it. And I think Brereton in particular, I think Armstrong and Rothwell, they're all runners really, and they've shown their strengths today. I've been really impressed with it.
Yeah, I have. It's been really nice to watch today, and nice just not to feel like Rotherham are any threat or whatever. It's been totally different to recent performances. Dor, why can't you let Rotherham win? Well, I'm just going to call you out, Dor. You didn't let Sheffield Wednesday win earlier, so if you want Derby to go down, do your part of the bargain as well, Dor. On Dor. But good to have you here, Dor. Hope you're well, mate. Rovers fans, let us know how you think that half went and how you're feeling about it if you are watching the game. Yeah, just it's been a largely comfortable performance. And Rotherham, you know, as it stands, this is not the result that they need. Derby are drawing away at Swansea at the moment, so they're not relegated. But Rotherham do have 2 tough away games after this, away at Luton and away at Cardiff. So I am expecting a bit of a response from Rotherham in this second half. Maybe that'll make more spaces for Rovers to have that counter-attack. And with the likes of Elliott and Dolan on the bench, maybe we can exploit that a little bit as well. So let us know how you're feeling about that half. Doors chuckling along in the comments there. There we go. Eugene, agree, Alex, pressure's off and we look good. Yeah, we do. Absolutely, we do. Oh, and Steve, you got the prediction right so far. Did you say 1-0 like Alex, Steve? Don't know what you said there. And then steps back after a few weeks away. Glad to see we're getting much better results now. Yeah, it's been good recently, Step, after a bit of a, well, it's not been the greatest 2021 for us, has it? Just a few reminders, Rovers fans. We did say at the start of today's stream that next season, if I just get rid of the comments so that you can see it, next season we are going to be supporting Sporting Minds UK as our charitable cause on the Rovers chat page for the 2021-22 season. Look out for things like charity quizzes, signed shirts and merchandise giveaways, things like that. That'll all be going on next season. And look out for some things in the summer period as well. You know, we're really pleased to be hooking up with Sporting Minds UK, who are a really, really important mental health cause in sport. And obviously it's been a tough year for everyone over this last year or so. So we're delighted to support that. At the moment, we are not sure if we will be doing a post-match live stream, but if you are interested in joining the show and want to contribute to that at full time, send a DM to Dan on the Rovers Chat Twitter account and you can get yourself involved. Absolutely. So, Alex, what are you expecting from Rotherham in the second half? You know, they must know now they've just got to have the half of their life. So if you're playing against a side like Rovers, where you've got Rothwell, you've got Armstrong, you've got Brio on today's evidence, you've got Harvey Elliott and Dolan on the bench. There's players there that can hurt you in a counter-attacking sense. So what is the game plan for Rotherham from this point? Do they come at us or are they trying to nick a goal and go from there? You know, how would you approach it if you were Rotherham?
I think they have to go for it. I don't think they've got any other option. I think I'm possibly expecting a few changes at half-time from Rotherham. I think after that performance, it's they'll be bitterly disappointed with the way they've played, I would have thought, and the way Rovers have dominated the game. So I expect changes from their side. And yeah, like I say, I expect them to really go for this game. You know, they've got nothing really to lose at this point. Goal difference is academic, and they need the win. So, yeah, I expect them to show the kitchen sink adders. But as I say, this is when Rovers tend to thrive, is when they've got a goals advantage and other teams are forced to go out their comfort zone and push men forward. And I just hope that we have the quality and we have the decisiveness to punish that today, because we managed to do that last weekend. So I'm hoping for a similar sort of second half performance this week as well. So yeah, all things considered, let's hope for the best in the second half.
And just to pick up a couple of the comments, Matt, you've been gardening. We're looking really good, Matt. The first 10 minutes, Rotherham were looking a little bit dangerous in the left channel or their right channel, our left-hand side. The space between Taylor Harwood-Bellis and Amari Bell. They were pinging a few balls into Matt Smith and going down that channel in particular. But we seem to just tighten that up. And really, it's been a largely comfortable performance for Rovers. We've looked dangerous. And we've really been driving through the midfield lines, through Ben Brio, through Joe Rothwell in particular. And Adam Armstrong got the goal with a really lovely finish as well after punishing a mistake. So we're largely looking really good, Matt. Joe, I just want to pick you up on John's comment here. We should be more than 1-0 ahead. I see danger. Whilst you were gone, I said to Alex that Rotherham now, with 2 away games after Rovers, they've got to go for it this half. But Rovers are a really dangerous side on the counter-attack with the players that we've got on the pitch at the moment and Dolan and Elliott on the bench as well. You know, that could be really dangerous. Do you see any danger from a Rovers perspective with the way that Rotherham are going to come out? You know, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think if it was a game that mattered to us, I would see a bit of danger because I think we would panic a bit. But I think we're quite carefree with it. I'm not saying we're on the beach, but we are in a position where it's not the end of the world if we don't win. So I don't think we'll sit really deep towards the end to try and grasp that 1-0, which is a good thing because when we're 1-0 up with 10 to go, the last thing you want to see is us camped out in our own box, and that's where Rotherham could score. I think with 5 minutes to go, you'll still see Rovers pushing forward, even if we're winning, which is obviously not something you've got, you know, the luxury of doing when you're desperate for points. So Rotherham will huff and puff, but as someone has said, they've played 30 games in, you know, well, not 30 games, but they've played a lot of football in the space of 30 days, you know, so they are tired, and I just don't think they'll have enough. I think they will blow eventually, and it'll either finish 1-0 to Rovers or we'll grab 1 or 2 more. It just depends how potent we are. You bring on a Harvey Elliott, you know, probably he can get one in. Can we get a goal from a set piece? Maybe Rotherham might get one, but I think because it doesn't matter, I think Rovers will just play with some freedom and creativity and not stress too much. And hopefully we get to see Dolan's and Elliott and Buckley's come on and show us what they're all about.
No, I'd love that. I'd love if we could see them coming on. Just to pick up on what you were saying about their results, they've had 5 games in 12 days. And if we look at the scores that they've had in the last 5 that they've lost, 1-0 Coventry at home, 1-0 Birmingham at home, 2-1 to Middlesbrough at home after Rotherham took the lead and they went down to 10 men, Rotherham. 1-0 away at Barnsley, 1-0 away at Brentford. So 1-0 has featured a lot in Rotherham's recent results. So maybe it might end up 1-0 to Rovers at the end of this. But I am expecting a bit of pushing and a bit of the 𝐂𝐃𝐂𝐓 from Rotherham, especially if that Swansea result doesn't change as well. So I'm expecting it to just get more open and a bit more frenetic from a Rotherham point of view. Steve, you always make me chuckle with your comments. And yeah, thank you. On a serious note, thank you for donating your Euro Millions winnings from last night. And thank you for supporting the channel. You know, we're really grateful to everyone that gives us the super chats and supports the channel in that way. It goes
if you
right
really won the Euro Millions, I'd want 10 grand. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But, you know, all the money that we've had this season, all the kind donations that we've had from people, it's all in the Rovers chat account, ready to do what we want with it. You know, we've got some good plans for stuff. So thank you, everyone, for your support. We love bringing you the content, even with this run of form that we've had. You know, that's why we do it. So thanks.
We've got so much to come, haven't we, Ryan? I mean, we're going to do England watch-alongs. Maybe we might even have a 4-man panel for that. Maybe I know not everyone here is an England fan, but that'll be fun. We've had a player at the club get in contact about giving away a signed shirt for the charity, which will be really good as well. I know people will want to get involved in that. We'll have our big summer quiz for charity like we did over the Christmas period with the winter quiz. And try and get some famous Blackburn faces involved. We've got all the content going on this weekend with former players. And then, of course, there's the summer window. And as much as Rovers might not be going up, I think there's loads to be excited about We'll be getting back to friendlies. I'm sure we'll all head off to Accrington Stanley away and stand in the stands and have a pint together. And the Rovers chat crew will go for a curry one night and meet up for the first time. And it'll all be great. And I think this summer period will be lovely for not just us as creators, but as for the fans as well, watching along. And it's been a journey. And as this is the penultimate live stream of the season, I think it's nice to bring it all back around and think about how far we've come, really, and how many of you interact with us from all around the world. And it really is, it has been enjoyable, and we all enjoy doing it. And I don't think any of us would change a single thing about it.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to, at the moment, I'll just tell all Rovers fans there's stuff going on in my garden now. So when there is some noise and I go quiet, Joe and Alex will pick up all the vocals. But at the moment it's quiet, but there are some things being grinded and cut in the garden at the moment. So I might have to mute abruptly so that you do not hear that over the airways at the moment. So apologies if I do mute very abruptly whilst I'm talking, but yeah, just back up everything Joe said there. I was a nervous wreck when I did my first live stream and videos at the start of the season, but it's been really, really enjoyable. And it's even with Rovers not having the season that we wanted to this season, it's been amazing to just share it with everyone over the virtual airways and make those connections with people across this season. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I don't live in Blackburn, and I've always felt like a bit of a distant fan, but actually this season during a pandemic I've never felt closer to more Rovers fans. So it's been amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Ryan and Joe just said. Really, I think this has probably been one of the best things to come out of all of this COVID situation and the lockdown and feeling a bit of a disconnect from football. I just think I've been so fortunate to be involved in something like this, where we started it from almost a standing start, and back, I think it was it Watford away, and to look where we are now with just the last away game of the season. Yeah, I can't believe it, really, that we managed to get through it, to be honest with you. And yeah, just thanks to everyone who's watched. Thanks to everyone who's donated. And like I say, if you see any of us at games, we won't bite if you want to say hello. But yeah, in all seriousness, yeah.
I might. Really don't say hello to me. I'll get embarrassed.
Yeah, Joe will get embarrassed and tell you to F off. The rest of us are friends.
Just leave me be. I'll be too engrossed in the game. If you say hello to me, I'll say, oh.
Yeah, so you can greet anyone else. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't believe the number of people I've met online who I've never actually met in person. I think it's
yeah, I'm looking forward to that kind of, especially the away games, and feeling like you know everyone around you. And it's been a very bittersweet year for most people, and I think that a lot of the sweet for me personally this year has come through this stuff that we do here. So and even with my business, I've had one or two clients from the stuff that we do with this Rovers stuff, which is just great. So brilliant.
I'm looking forward to seeing everyone as well. I won't bite, certainly not, and would love to have a pint with each and every one of you if you're at those away games and home games or whatever. So definitely, I'm looking forward to that side of it, actually.
Let's face it, the person who's got by far the most subject material for abuse is me.
Oh, God. That's because you don't sit on the fence.
I don't know about everyone else's I follow, but all I'm seeing is Tony Mowbray.
Yeah, same.
That's going to be the second half, isn't it? Just watching him.
Yeah. He looks so calm. He looks more relaxed than me. Just daydreaming. And, it's a little bit... You remember that TV show? I've forgotten what it was called, where the animals would, talk to each other and there was a voiceover for it and it was like comedy. What was that called? It'd be like two meerkats and someone would dub over it like they were talking to each other. I can't remember, but
sorry, I think it was sorry, I just had the background noise. I think it was called Creature Comforts.
Oh, right. It's a bit like that then. I was kind of expecting a bit like Mock the Week, Hugh Dennis, to kind of overlay what Mowbray was thinking in his mind then. And when you look at him like that and it stays on him for so long, you do wonder, what's he thinking right now? And that's just the fascinating side of football that you'll never know, isn't it?
I think you're right, Michael. I think Tony was dreaming about Borough's return list. I think you're right there.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. I did see someone, I can't remember who it was. Let me know who you were. Someone said about 𝒒𝒒 as a signing for Rovers next season. So that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Mowbray is manager, if we were to get him.
I just think the wages would be a bit much for us, to be honest.
So the second half has now restarted. We will do a quick time check. I am on 45, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Yeah,
were you two
in sync with me?
Was that good for you, Joe?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'll be honest, I was reading comments and I didn't pay any attention, but yeah.
So 45, 40, 41, 42.
Yeah, 42, 43, right. You said 45 and I went, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I think I am, Michael. I'm thinking about the one where it's, what's that joke where it's like, he goes, Steve. No, wait, that's Alan. Alan. That one. Whatever that was is what I'm thinking of. But there must
I think
be
that's what it was. I think it was.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Somehow that's a goal kick. I don't know how they've given a goal kick there, but Ryan Amber's done well.
So Ryan Smith has hit that. Michael Smith has hit that space we were talking about between Harwood, Bellis, and Bell. He's gone beyond Bell. He's gone for the cross into the box. Kaminski is. I don't think it was convincing from Kaminski, and he's just poured it into the path of Ladapo, who should tap that in, but he doesn't. So, can you hear that background noise of mine? By the way, if you can, I'll mute.
No, it wasn't an advert. It was called Walk on the Wild Side, that Alan Steve thing. It was a TV show on BBC years ago. But that might have been the advert for Walk on the Wild Side.
Ah, right. Okay.
Chance?
Derby are 1-0 up at Swansea, which is a big blow for a lot of the teams at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That will relegate all three of them.
Yeah. It confirms it all, doesn't it?
Rovers have got a corner here, so we went up the. There we go. Thanks, Deuce. If you can't hear that, that's great. I won't keep muting myself then if it's not coming across. I can hear it a lot.
When was the last time a final day of the Championship had nothing to play for?
Yeah. So here we go. Rothwell plays it in. Rotherham will surely get word of this goal in a moment, so they're going to have to go for it.
Yeah.
At this rate, the top two, the playoffs and the relegation, will all be sewn up today.
Oh, Ryan Amber with a nice ball forward.
Oh, that's a great ball, yeah. Go on, Bell.
Go on. Here we go. Armstrong gets the cross in. Bradley Jones!
Oh, what a save! What a save! Oh!
Blackman with a fantastic save. Adam Armstrong, we worked it really well on the left-hand side. Rothwell plays it out for Armstrong, gets it onto his right foot, dinks it to the back stick.
Have we not scored there?
Bradley Johnson.
It's a great header. There's nothing wrong with that header for me.
No, firm header from from Bradley Johnson. It's going into the top corner, kind of. And Blackman has just come across his goal and saved Rotherham. He saved them. Corner again.
Great point from Michael here. If this does settle everything and the teams that are down, surely we can play whoever we want on the last day.
Yeah. Darrell Lenihan should have done well better there. He stole a march at the near post. He should do
that's poor from Bell. Oh, it's hit his chest, luckily.
Rotherham are going to be going.
Darrell is not near good enough from set pieces for me with his height and with his physicality. He doesn't win enough headers and get enough goals for me.
Oh dear. So yeah, there's the as it stands table. Relegation confirmed for all three of those clubs as it stands. If we can use these subs intelligently, if Rotherham are going to push and push and push with that score at Swansea now, Dolan and Elliott could be absolutely lethal in this game.
I suppose they should have had a goal that they somehow didn't score, and we should have had a goal. So, on balance, we probably do deserve to be winning the game still.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely deserve to be winning this. Absolutely.
I mean, we missed a few chances in the first half, to be fair, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question from Stephen. Are there any players at the relegated or relegation teams that you would take?
What? Yeah, sorry, Joe. That is a cracking question, isn't it?
There must be a few at Wednesday, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, Barry Bannon is someone who I've always admired.
There's no way he stays in League One. Surely not. He's too good.
I'm trying to think of. So let's think of our positions next season. We need a centre back if we're not going to get THB back. So
I think without Elliott, if you're looking for a right winger with a left foot to come in, I personally think Adam Reach would be a really astute signing.
Reach is in the comments, most certainly there. We're going to need a striker to replace Armstrong. Obviously, Jordan Rhodes is the obvious one, isn't he? But Rhodes, Fletcher, Akinfenwa.
I was going to say maybe Jacobson at Wycombe, but we don't really need that position. But he is a player that you'd take. He's a good player.
I'll tell you who. I'll tell you exactly who I'd go for because he'll be cheap as well. Who is that kid that rinsed us a new one away at Wycombe? That youngster.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but I can't recall the name.
I don't know what you mean.
Chance here. Oof.
Oh, well done, Ben Brereton.
Let me find his name. That is who I'd go
Mehmeti.
for. Yeah, Mehmeti.
Mehmeti. Yeah, he was playing. Michael's put his name there. He was playing like non-league football for years, wasn't he? And then
that's right.
Yeah, that's a great shout, actually. But yeah, I think if you had to pick a team that you'd poach a few from, it would be Wednesday because they're only really going down because of their points deduction, really. They've got some decent enough players. Obviously, they've got some poor ones.
To be fair, you look at the league table. If they'd only be 21st with the points deduction taken away, so they've not been the best side this year.
No, definitely not.
Taken into account.
Definitely. And I just wonder how many of those players, teams like brilliant from Lewis Travis. He could have made a goal in chance.
Jesus.
Oh, lovely from Rovers. Really, really.
Travis has done so well there. That's what Travis can bring you in midfield. So calm.
Really good play. Travis dinks a little ball over to Armstrong on the left, who plays it into Brio. Great touch in the box from Brio. He sets himself up nicely, and then he's just blasted the shot over the bar. It was a good chance in the box there from Brio. Lovely play from Rovers. Love that.
Trying to hit that right into the top corner when he could have just placed that to the side of the keeper, and it's 2-0.
Yeah. I think this game can be mental now.
Oh, well played, Amari Bell. Definitely Bell's best game for us in a long time. Really impressed with him today.
Go on, lad.
Go on, Ben. Get in that box.
Go on, Gally. Here we go. Come back in for Armour. We've got to exploit this situation now. This is just going to be frenetic.
Definitely.
I'm going to miss this, It'll all be done and dusted by this time next week. So it's 12:30 kickoff, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, of course. Forgot about that.
Be all done and dusted. And then who knows what happens? Like, first game of the season, we'll obviously need to see what we're doing next season. So,
Ryan's starting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine we'll be able to do watch-alongs next season if we're back in stadiums, which is a shame.
Well, I think there's a conversation to be had because I don't get to all 46 games. I probably get to like 30 games a season. So I think there's scope to still do stuff, especially midweek.
I definitely won't be getting to all the games either with where I am situated. So, yeah, I suppose it depends on restrictions and
absolutely
what the COVID situation's like going into next year. So.
gorgeous from Travis. He's looked really cool in this second half.
He has. He's come out of
Play
different.
him! Ball. Should have gone years ago. Oh, he's done well there, though, Gallagher.
Really well, Sam Gallagher. He was not helped out in.
Bell.
Bell just really wants to mug me off for praising him, doesn't he?
A couple of bits there in there, Rovers fans. So Gallagher was in acres after we worked the ball really well originally from Lewis Travis. Brilliant play from him. Armstrong's got to release the ball sooner to Sam Gallagher, who's in acres going into the box, but the pass is terrible.
I thought Rothwell could have released him first, to be fair, before he gave it to Armstrong.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost like we've got too many options. It's like there's too much space up there now for him to decide what to do.
Yeah. And the pass was terrible, and Sam Gallagher did really, really well to make something of it and keep the ball in. He played it back to Amari Bell, who slipped and stumbled and then fouled his man, which was a real shame because he's had a good game so far.
They're just launching the ball forward now, Rotherham.
Oh dear. Any news on season tickets yet, Joe? You mentioned this earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, I think the club are kind of. I don't really know on season tickets much. I know that they're in a good position in terms of their planning for next season and looking at how many. Oh, chance for Rotherham.
Oh God!
Well done, Harwood Bellick. Well done, Travis. That's great defending from them too.
Travis is absolutely bossing.
You idiot, Johnson.
That was Armstrong.
I thought
that was Adam Armstrong. That no, Adam Armstrong. He came back from up front.
Was it?
Yeah.
I need to go to 𝒑𝒆𝒓𝒔 then.
Sorry, yeah, season tickets. So I don't really know. I think the plan is to just announce when the season finishes. Obviously, like I think if you bought a season ticket this season, a Blackburn End season ticket's going to end up costing something like £170 with all the discounts based off this year for next year, which I think is quite good. So I think, was it 3,000 people bought season tickets this year? So a good, 40% of the season ticket crowd are going to get a very good deal on their season ticket this year, which is good.
Couple of other shouts of players. Stephen has gone Tom Lees from Wednesday and also Josh Knight from Wycombe.
Millwall 4-1 up. Bristol City's capitulation this season has been mental.
I've got to say that they offered Nigel Pearson that 3-year contract, unless they have got some master plan up their sleeve that we're not aware of. I thought that was quite a bold decision from them.
For me, I don't think he's the problem. I think he's a pretty decent manager. He's managed at a very high level. I think their squad has just been shown to have no backbone to it, really, defensively. They've got issues just like we've got issues. I don't know if that's the manager for them, really.
I think Nigel Pearson's been known to have strong opinions about certain players, and he does tend to either be a roaring success or fall out with dressing rooms. And
I thought Armstrong was going to nick the ball off Blackman then as it went back to him, but it didn't.
Travis again winning the ball back in midfield.
This is the Lewis Travis of old today. He is on point.
Oh, yeah. Chance.
Here we go. Ogbene, good crossing.
Well done, Darrow. Good positioning. And Travis, right place, right time again. Brings it out calm. Lovely ball to Rothwell. What a game he's had. That is beautiful from Rovers.
Such a bad pass from Rothwell.
Yeah.
It was really good from Travis. So Rotherham had an attack and Lewis Travis was just the air of calm, just brought the ball down on the edge of the box and then played out a pass to Joe Rothwell, who it was his pass that was poor out to the left to Adam Armstrong. So yeah, Travis is looking great. Oh, he's just taken a knock.
Forest got better? I think Forest under Houghton have massively underperformed for me.
They were bottom of the league when he took over, though, weren't they? I suppose.
Yeah, but they never should have been, should they? You know, I suppose yes, but when he went in, everyone said, "Oh, they'll finish 7th, 8th now," and I thought they would as well. And I just don't think Houghton's done as well there as he could have done, really. But yeah, it is interesting. Usually, a new manager changes things positively, but there's not many examples of that this year. Barnsley, of course, is the big one.
I do think
equalised against Derby. Now that makes things interesting.
Swansea have they?
Yeah.
Okay. I do think Forest are an interesting club. You know, we've spoken about the impact of no fans this season, etc. I do think Forest have been impacted by that because they are one of a few clubs in the Championship that do sell out their ground. And I do think it's had an impact on Forest. They have definitely underachieved, though, Joe. If we think about the season they had last season and the players that they bought in before this season as well, they had some quality going into this.
Travis has just won it back again. Brereton's won his 19 millionth free kick of the game.
I think what happened with Nottingham Forest was quite strange because they were. I look back to last season; they were in the playoffs for the whole season, really, and they capitulated on the final day to a Stoke side that to play for. And
I think Nottingham Forest are the lesson for Rovers if we're going to change our manager. So, you know, they went through that whole summer and then sacked Lamouchi a month into the season, and just look at the impact. You know, even a manager like Chris Hughton, who we all agree is brilliant.
Oh, Lewis Travis! Oh, what a game he's having! That is impeccable play. He's getting it back again.
Here we go. Go on, bag it, Jono. Oh.
Don't give it Rothwell.
Oh.
Go on.
This is lovely. This is absolutely sensational. Oh!
He can't.
That was like watching.
What the hell? That is the best forward movement we've seen all season. Tiki-taka around the edge of the box. Oh.
There were too many players involved with that for me to describe, but it all started with Lewis Travis, as Joe said. And there were literally 6 players involved in that move. And it found Joe Rothwell, who'd gone into the box, and he's just dragged a shot left-footed wide of the right-hand post. But it was brilliant, crisp, sharp, quick passing from Rovers. Sensational.
Travis is having such a good game. Kaminski's bored, so he thought he'd make it interesting. Look at Trav here. No time on the ball for him. He's just the perfect midfielder on his day. And he'll play like this every week if you give him the game time, if you don't give up on him after one game.
Swansea got another.
2-1 Swansea.
Oh, wow.
Wow, indeed.
Oh, dear.
Stephen, I think your question here, I just think this relates back to the conversation we were having earlier about parachute payments and everything like that. You know, we're really not. Oh,
chance! Oh, big chance!
In. Yes!
He's offside. I didn't think he was, you know. I thought that looked really tight.
That looks tight, and we're not going to get a good replay on this, so let's just have a look. We'll come back to your comments, Stephen. So, yeah, Brio ended up clean through on goal. Let's just have a look.
I thought this was on. That's onside. That's harsh.
That is incredibly tight. That.
Very, very tight. Without VAR, etc., that's a tough one for officials to give. He looked onside, just onside for me, I think. But Brio was put clean through, and he did slot it. But Jamal Blackman had given up on it because he thought it was offside. So
5-1. Sorry, 1-0 flatters Rotherham for me. It could be 5-1 here.
Yeah.
They've not been.
The angle that we had there on that replay, you couldn't really tell whether he was off or not. It was a pretty bad angle, to be honest.
We'll come to Jill's comment in a minute, but Stephen, just going back to this one, the parachute payments and everything we were talking about, wages are going to be a huge issue for us attracting anyone from those relegated Premier League sides because of just what they're paid in the Premier League. It's and look at what Watford did with Ismaila Sarr this season. They should not be keeping a player like him, but they've been able to because of parachute payments. So, that filters down the whole structure of all those clubs coming down. So unless it's someone out of contract or a bit older, we're going to struggle to get those, Stephen.
Yeah.
Joe, anything you want to say in response to
Listen, when a player's having a bad game, there's nothing wrong with bringing them off so that their confidence isn't knocked, especially a young player. But, you've got to give them the chance in the team. It doesn't mean he shouldn't play in the game after that.
Oh, I love it.
Who would you have as Travis's partner next season? I don't know. Do you keep the 3 and not give him a partner? Or do you play 2 in midfield and put Davenport there maybe? Or I don't know. Good question.
Who's been his best partner, do we think?
I think that Travis-Davenport partnership at Birmingham looked really good when they played the 2 together. But in general, I think we'll be playing a 3, won't we? Especially if Mowbray's still here. So
yeah,
I thought he meant girlfriend for.
Chance, big chance!
Oh, that looked really close. It was a lovely ball through to Ogbene on the right side from the midfield area. I think it was Wing that played the pass. Yeah, it was Wing. Brilliant pass again in down that left channel. Ogbene, that is inches. Let's just look at this replay. He's
got to score that.
Oh, he's got into the box. He's on the right-hand side of the box.
Had more than 1 goal in this game.
Mad. He's on the right-hand side of the box there, Ogbene, and he's just, that was inches. That was really close. Brilliant ball from Lewis Wing.
Travis again with a big tackle in the middle of midfield, winning it back. I think Travis has probably got man of the match in my eyes so far. An average first half, I suppose, nothing extraordinary, but this second half has just been massive. Really impressed with him. I mean, people talk about the Nyambe and Rankin Costello debate about who should play at right back, and they always say how much better Nyambe is as a defender. But when a winger comes in like that, he just backs off and backs off and backs off and backs off. And I don't see it. I don't understand where this argument of Nyambe is a good defender comes from. I think he's fast and I think he's pretty good in the air for his feet, but I don't actually think one-on-one he's impeccable at all, as described.
So Rotherham have just had a corner there. It was headed away, but Ogbene's got it now on that right-hand side. Gallagher's just got him stood up. And it's a poor pass from Ogbene. Rothwell's got a chance to break here. Adam Armstrong.
Big chance. Come on, Adam. It's not a great first touch.
Unlucky. He has a good ball from Joe Rothwell to Armstrong. And it just looked like he was going to nick that ball inside and then be clean through, but he wasn't. So this game is getting more and more stretched as we go.
This game is ridiculous.
Oh, dear. Oh, well done, Howard Bellis. Come on, we need a goal.
Lewis Wing is definitely exploiting some of the spaces now.
Surely that's a yellow card. Every time we counter the fouling us, there's got to be a yellow, that one, surely. Here come the cavalry for Rotherham. 3 subs.
3 subs. So what we got, 9, 28 and 26. So let's have a look at that. So the 3 subs coming on for them are Hurst, Joffazoon and Barlaser.
Oh, yeah. Never heard of him.
That Josephoon, if I'm saying his name right, he was at Brentford and Derby, I think, wasn't he?
Is he on loan there from Derby or is he permanently there?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check that.
He was very highly rated at Brentford. I think he went to Derby for 7-figure fee.
So they've made all their subs now, actually. I'm just looking because the centre mid McDonald went off for Wiles at half-time. I didn't see that pop up. And then Harding already came on for the other McDonald. So Rotherham, that's it. They've made all their changes now. So that Ogbene's gone off. I think he's a bit unlucky to go off, actually. I think he's been quite dangerous for them.
He could have 2 goals, though, and he's missed them both.
Yeah.
I think it's good for Rovers this though, because Mowbray can wait another 10 minutes and then bring on all of our attacking subs, etc., and really hit them.
Yeah. So it looks like they've taken Michael Smith off, I think, as well, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah, I think
that's surprising because he's such an outlet to play off.
So definitely Smith and Ogbene. I didn't see the other change who went off, so we'll get that in a moment for you. So we've hit the 70-minute mark now. This game is just getting more and more open, and Rotherham have just got to be spotting their opportunity now. With Derby losing, you know, even a point for Rotherham, and you know, it's a bonus point for them. What's the goal difference?
Oh, Howard Bellis.
Well done, Howard Bellis.
Yeah,
that was like his inner Tosin Adarabayo there.
A point for Rotherham. With the goal difference, you know, they've got a +5 better goal difference than Derby. So a point for Rotherham is not a disaster. So they're going to be they are going to be going for this now. A point is good enough for them, really, I think, you know. So all dependent on that Swansea result, of course. Jofferson just, he's going to be a different dynamic now because he's gone down the right and then cut back onto his left foot. Which is
now they're putting balls into the box and they've taken off their aerial threat strikers. Weird.
Yeah. There's a great ball in, and Hurst was the man who went for it. Nyambi just did really well.
Oh, Gallagher down.
Who do we want to get promoted from League One?
I can't be doing.
Well, it's only really the third team that we're talking about now, isn't it? I suppose.
Well, Peter losing 3-1 at home to Lincoln at the moment. So
I still think they'll do it though. How far off are the third team?
That's Lincoln. Lincoln, it's not done and dusted yet. Lincoln are the one who can. What's the gap now between Lincoln and Peterborough?
So it's 5 points, but Lincoln have got 2 games left.
So they'd have to win both games and Peterborough lose today and the last game. It's probably not. Well, anyway.
Lincoln are playing Peterborough, so...
Ah, right, okay. So Hull are obviously up. For me, probably Peterborough. And I want to see Peterborough. I really like Peterborough. I like that their owner is so transparent and talks to the fans online. And he has a YouTube channel and talks about the transfer dealings. And I think that's all great. I really love that. And they're a pretty well-run club, so it'd be great to see them back in the Championship. And we've got a pretty good record there, and you know, it'd be nice to play back there again. And yeah, maybe just Lincoln for Ryan.
Oh, I can't be doing with him in the Championship. I've never had it in my whole life. Obviously,
I'll go for Blackpool because we've got quite a lack of Northwest away days at the moment.
True. I think because we've no Wigan or Bolton anymore. There's only really Preston, isn't there? Go on, Trav.
So Tyrese Dolan has come on for Sam Gallagher. He picked up a knock there. So Dolan is on. He's gone out onto that left.
Go on, Ty.
Here we go. Drive at him, Ty. This should be a game where he's feeling confident, Ty. You know, it's open. Look closer than it was, the header. Did look closer than it was from Ben Brio. It was never troubling Blackman. But yeah, Lincoln City, you know, in my whole time watching Rovers, you know, my whole life, Lincoln have always been that kind of Division 3 club, and Rovers have been Premier League and obviously Championship more recently. We've never been anywhere near the same division as Lincoln City. So on a selfish perspective, Jesus.
Forgive my ignorance of Lincoln City and their players and the manager and stuff like that. Is it a case with them a bit like Shrewsbury? If they don't do it this year, are they likely to fall away?
No, they are a really well-run club, Joe. They've had some investment from a guy called Clive Nates, who's a South African guy. They are extremely well-run, and the Cowley brothers started it off. They've got Michael Appleton as manager now, who obviously managed us, and he's got them playing a really good brand of football. So they will go again next season. I think that owner's just put 500k into them as well, and they've just built a new training ground on the outskirts of Lincoln, and things are looking good for Lincoln. It's sustainable, so it's only a matter of time, I think.
Of all of the managers in the Venky era, I find the most bizarre because I think of all of the dreadful football I've seen in the last 10 to 12 years, I think his was the worst. Yet at the other clubs he's been at, he's been known for playing an attractive, expansive style of football. I just wonder if he was given more time at Rovers, if he'd have managed to turn it round. It's just a curiosity I have. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with you, Alex. I think he was given far too few time, and I just think what was going on at the club at the time was also just pretty chaotic. We got him on a rising limb as well. His stock was pretty high when we got him at that point. I think he'd been at Oxford and he'd been at Blackpool, hadn't he, and done well at both of those. So we were getting him on that rising limb. So yeah, he is one, I agree, Alex, that I would have liked to have seen more of.
Rovers
notwithstanding, I'll never forgive him for forfeiting the FA Cup quarter-final against Millwall. That was just a terrible performance.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, no motorways in Lincolnshire, I'm afraid, so it is a ball ache to get to Lincoln.
Oh, tackle from Dara. Worrying me that Rovers, when we were getting possession, are very much holding it in the corner. 15 minutes to go against a side desperate for a goal. I just don't think it's the way to go. They have not looked that threatening with us just playing it around, and I think we should keep it that way. I think it would be a mistake now to tinker and mess around and hold it in the corner and stuff. So I'm a bit disappointed to see that. I don't know about you guys.
No, I am, and the ref there has just told us off for time wasting and stuff. So I just think, yeah, what's going on here? Come on.
Do we need to stretch the game though, like we were before? I just think
there's something to exploit there, Alex.
Yeah,
I just
let's
think the
score
game's
some goals. Let's have some fun. 1-0.
The game's been so open, and you got Harvey Elliott on the bench who can come on and do some stuff as well. I don't know. I'd just be really exploiting the situation Rotherham are in. I don't know why we're.
Yeah. I think I'd like to see Elliott on for Rothwell and played in a central role. Because I'd run, unless you put Doan on the right and bring off Brereton maybe, but I would like to see Elliott on. But yeah, 1-0's rubbish. We should be winning this by more. We should go for more goals. There's no point sitting back against a side that are probably going to get relegated. Getting relegated for a reason because they're not that good.
Yeah. Let us know how you're feeling, Rovers fans, in the comments. I personally think we should be more than 1-0 up, but Rotherham are going to be spotting their chance now, as I say. A draw gets them in the line of fire of Derby. It gets it back in their own hands as it stands. So a point would be good enough for Rotherham.
Nice, Ty Dolan.
Go on, Travis.
Nice, Travis. No, not the best ball from Brayo there. Oh, Rovers have been given the free kick.
Yeah, I think he was just caught. He did look like he was caught.
He's won it, but it was.
Did you say it was
for a side that could be? Sorry, go
on. No, carry on. I'm talking about something different.
He got a yellow card for that as well. For a side that could be going down in the next 12 minutes, should things go a different way, they don't look that bothered, do they? The manager's not that. Luton Town showed more passion on the last day of the season last year than Rotherham Town are showing now. Rotherham United are showing now, times 10. They just don't look bothered.
Yeah.
I mean, as it stands, Derby are giving the rest of them a stay of execution.
And Derby's goal difference as well, that's going to get them feeling anxious.
Well, because Derby play Sheffield Wednesday next week, and if Sheffield Wednesday beat Derby, then Sheffield Wednesday go above Derby. So
that's it. There you go.
They as they are.
Derby need a goal because Sheffield Wednesday are in the line of fire.
Because that is effectively a playoff final then between Sheffield Wednesday and Derby, isn't it? Through stays up.
Gee whiz. So is there a scenario then that Rotherham could end up relegating them both, don't they? Next season. So Sheffield Wednesday could beat Derby and it could still not be good enough for Sheffield Wednesday or Derby. Wow.
Yes, because if Rotherham lose today but then win in midweek and win next weekend, then that would send both of them down. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Dizzy, absolutely.
We managed to get a draw today as well.
The draw is critical for Rotherham at this stage, I'd say, to get them in that line of fire. Dizzy, absolutely hats off to you, mate. 2 a.m. on a game that doesn't really mean much in the Rovers season. Thank you for tuning in, mate, and for all your support this season. All of you down under. This is a long old shift for you on these watch-alongs. So thank you, mate. And you have a good day tomorrow and whatever. So thanks, mate. So we are at the 80-minute mark now, 10 minutes to go. Love to see another Rovers goal. Rotherham have got a free kick. Rovers are on the edge of our own box. So it's going to be a deep free kick slung in a little bit.
Marbury will be delighted if we win today. We've secured 15th position.
Gee whiz. Here we go. Rotherham are going to take this free kick. It was just a little hold-up in play because Wiles had an injury for Rotherham. So he's just had his treatment. We're on the edge of our own box.
Oh, I can't quite believe that it's still 1-0, and I can't believe Rothwell's still on the pitch. And it's been a very weird game. This second half has just...
It's a Barley's attack.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're all right.
Clear it.
Poor marking.
Yeah, it was poor marking. I think it wasn't Harding because he's just about to take the throw in. I don't know who it was. Harvey Elliott's going to come on now.
Has he dyed his hair?
Yeah.
He has, hasn't he? Not the best clearance from Brereton there.
Oh,
What did we do this week?
I got to say, Harding's throw-ins are absolutely mammoth, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, who's gone down for Rovers? I think it's Bradley Johnson. Yeah. Bradley Johnson's just taken a whack on his back there.
But that's the experience, though. That's why you have players like Johnson on the pitch at these times in a game. He knows what he needs to do and how he needs to roll and what he needs to say to get the referee to stop play there, give us a minute, you know.
Yeah.
That's experience.
Yeah, Joe, did you see Harvey at the salon yesterday?
Ah, yeah. We're having a good chinwag.
Owen, it's currently 1-0 Rovers. We've got it scrolling along the bottom for you, Owen. Adam Armstrong's goal after 17 minutes, still separating the two sides. There are
Ryan, just get the crystal ball out for me for Carol.
For Carol?
Yeah, get the crystal ball out.
Who will win? Not sure, Carol.
I don't know if you're new to the streams, but we do support a team called Blackburn Rovers, and yeah, just
go on. Oh,
I think we've been scarred too many times to be making things like that.
Stephen, we'll have to see what happens next season in terms of a 4-man watch along, depending on who's at what games and stuff like that. But I'd like to think we could maybe do one like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of we have a chat each week and say who's going, who's not going. Have we got enough to do it? Is there enough interest in the game? Come on, Elliot. You'll get there.
Dolan. Dolan's helped Elliot out massively there, retrieved it.
Oh, no! They both lost it. That was funny.
So good.
Adam Armstrong's fake shot was so believable that Bradley Johnson didn't realise he was leaving it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Is
it still 2-1 Swansea, Alex?
Let me just check. I think so.
Oh
On my
dear.
latest scores app, It is still.
What?
What's he giving here?
No,
Is this
that's not a free kick, that.
Wow.
That's so wrong.
Rotherham have got a free kick right on the edge of the box here. So the ball was slung forward and Wood's gone up with Lenihan. Let's just see.
That's a poor decision.
So
that's not a foul. Wood's holding Lenihan.
Yeah, they both had their arm round each other, and I think Lenihan, unfortunately, has just been caught out. He's been caught by the ref. You know, Wood did it to Lenihan, and Lenihan got caught as the one who did it as well. So
this is a big chance there. So who's going to take it?
Lewis Wing. So Lewis
I think
Wing,
this could go in, you know.
He's had a chance last season. I remember I was at the Riverside. Lewis Wing did have a chance very similar in this position, and he put it just wide.
This is exactly where you want a free kick, innit? This should go in.
And Lewis Wing scores. It's 1-1. A huge goal for Rotherham. It's 1-1.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but the ref has just given him that goal. It's never a free kick. It really isn't, especially in an area like that. On the halfway line, maybe you give it, but you don't hand a team a chance like that for something so minimal. It's just not a free kick in my eyes.
So Wing, it's Thomas Kaminski. I don't know what Kaminski's doing with that. I don't know why he's not expecting the ball to go down that side. Why do you set a wall up with the man who's doing the draft exclude apart as well? So the free kick is slightly left of goal, and he's just bent it into the right corner, and Kaminski's just stayed stationary and not expected the ball to go to his left-hand side. So for me, I think Kaminski's not done well there, not covered himself in glory at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world for us. It doesn't mean much, but it's still frustrating, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, if you're boiling, let's just take the emotion out of the equation, with Rotherham and relegation and all that type of stuff,
Go on!
Amari Bell.
Again, Amari I like the Puritans right there, though. Love that.
I just, 1-0 is always a dangerous lead in football. We were all saying it, weren't we, that we should be more than 1-0 up, because you could see this happening, You could see Rotherham getting back into it. Disappointing.
I would have to say, though, Rovers haven't done anything wrong defensively there. It's just a crap, easy decision from the referee. I don't really... I don't really think Rovers have done much wrong. We should have scored, but defensively, we haven't been poor. That wasn't our fault, really, in my opinion. So
Rotherham here, it's Hurst, gets up really well.
It's going wide.
The ball's going wide. Kaminski wasn't too sure of his bearings, and he's tipped it wide. So it is a corner for Rotherham. They are sensing this now. Absolutely sensing this. And yeah, Stephen, only ourselves to blame. Absolutely. We've had chances. Yeah, I think that chance that Brio hit over the bar and stuff like that. We've had chances, Joe.
All right. I kind of thought you meant defensively. I just thought that was
no.
Yeah. Oh, dear. So...
attacking wise, only ourselves to blame, definitely.
Go on.
Here we go. The game's open. Rovers chance for the counter. Elliott has hit it out to Dolan. It's just going to break down. Oh, good play. Good play. Travis, right across.
Oh! What a game Travis has had. He's so good.
Yeah, Travis has been brilliant.
Wow.
Lovely counter-attack from Rovers. Lewis Travis driving forward. 1-2 with Ben Brio. Pulls it across the box. Great defending.
So nearly a goal.
That was a goal, that.
Brilliant, brilliant defending from Giles it was at the back post there. So Rovers are going to have a corner. Here we go. 88th minute. Elliott's... Oh, THB.
What? Oh.
Heads it onto the roof of the net.
Oh, yeah, Derby fans won't be happy with us.
No.
To be honest, if you'd have asked me which team I'd rather go down, it is Derby. I'm not a big fan of Derby myself, so... Still feel like there's another 2 goals in this, and there's only a few minutes left.
Oh, he's going to give
that as well. It's not a free kick. It's terrible refereeing. The referee's handing Rotherham chances on a play. I mean, they are creating nothing from open play, but they are being given chance after chance from set piece that are just so soft.
So we're into the
Never
final
felt.
minute of regulation time. We'll see how much gets added on. So it's going to be a deep free kick slung in by Barlaser. They've aimed for Wood.
Go on.
Chance for a break now. Wing's probably going to foul Elliott if he can. Elliott's
He
done
can't.
really well. Really well, Harvey Elliott there. What a
What
pass.
a ball!
What a pass. Oh!
No! How? I could have put that in with me head. That's terrible.
Harvey Elliott, what can you say? I mean, he just muscled out of the situation, has played a lovely ball in
That
behind
is
the line.
shit. That is dreadful.
Armstrong just needs to finish it. He's free. He's open. He's in the box. He's on his own, and Blackman saved
He
it.
would literally have 50 goals this year if he scored even just 2 or 3% more of his chances. For a striker with so many goals, God, he can't shoot.
6 minutes added on as well. So the Johnson header's another one, Joe, where we've had chances. We've had big chances in this game.
Jesus Christ, that's got to go in the net. Fair play to Elliott. That's why he should have been on. You know, what a player. Skips past 2, lovely ball across.
I don't know how we are not winning this game.
I know. Duncan, thanks ever so much, mate, for your kind words. Pleased it's helped you through the season. It's been a tough one, not being at the games and everything else going on in life. So really pleased to cheer you up.
It's so true from Jack there. It is why Armstrong won't make it in the
win
Prem.
again here.
He's wasted it. I mean, what is that? In the Premier League, Armstrong will get 1 chance a game. And if he wastes chances like that in the Premier League, he won't make it.
No.
He needs 7 chances through on goal to actually put the ball in the net. That is shocking. To waste 2 chances in a minute like that is just really poor.
Is that a goal kick? I thought that came back
Could
off.
be a goal kick.
I think we've got the corner there. I thought he came back off. Evans.
We should
Here
be
we go,
like
Elliott.
6-1 up here. This is poor. We
So
need
Elliott's
a
going
goal.
to take the corner left-footed and whip this in. Here we go. It's gone near post. Oh!
I've got no comment to make on that. Brereton's missed from a yard out.
Corner played in by Harvey Elliott is flicked on by a Rotherham man. I think it's Wood, and Brio steaming in at the back post. He's been left unmarked.
He's a yard out. He's a yard out.
No, to be fair, he was almost on the goal line then.
Yeah, it's come at Brio. It should be a goal. You know, you're talking championship level. It's come at Brio quick. It's on his left foot, but he should score. He should score.
You've got to put that in there. Terrible.
The gods are smiling down on Rotherham.
It now should be 7-1 to Rovers.
Gee whiz.
And it's funny because it doesn't even matter. Imagine if we needed 3 points to get to 6 now, and this is what we were doing. We're so lucky that this means nothing to us.
Oh, dear. Just to confirm, everyone, we won't be doing the post-match stream tonight. So we'll just do a little bit of post-match reaction between me, Joe, and Alex, and then that'll be it for this evening and the live streams. So, yeah, we won't be doing the post-match as we usually do. Normal service will be resumed next week. It's been a busy couple of weekends, so I've personally not been able to do them, but we will be back next weekend.
Great ball. Oh, not enough on it.
If we lose this game now.
What, though? This is the thing. That's why I feel like we might. Because if we lose this game, nothing. There's no consequence. For the manager or his job, I don't feel like there's a consequence. For the players and their contracts and our league position.
By that, I just mean I'd be utterly staggered at how we'd lost the game.
I feel for them. I do feel for them because we have been the better side. And on a different day, we would be 5-1 up here. I really do feel for them here. It's not like we've played badly. We've played really well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So Derby have lost. So this point for Rotherham is huge for them. Obviously, if they were to get another couple of points, even more massive. So it is going to be a corner. Corner for Rotherham. We are into the 94th minute. Surely they've got.
Oh my God, Peterborough's 3-3.
Joking, that sends them up.
Yeah. I thought they were going up, but I didn't realise it was coming down to today.
Getting promoted because Lincoln then dropped points.
Here we go. So it's going to be a corner from Barlaser. They're on the left-hand side.
Do we have to do a post-match chat if this goes in? If they score, can we just leave it?
No. Got out for a goal kick. We'll only do a few minutes, Joe. Don't worry.
I don't mind if it's a draw, but if we lost it, I think I'd just go.
A minute per goal.
I'll tell you what, Lincoln as well. Last week they had Hull City confirming promotion at their ground, and now they're going to be at that ground when Peterborough get promotion.
Which is demoralising heading into a playoff campaign.
Yeah.
That's 98 minutes, that game, and it's still not finished, Peterborough.
What is Bell doing there?
Bell trying to lose the game for us there.
Yeah. Bell's been offered a contract at Rotherham.
Oh,
that again! Jesus Christ!
Rotherham are going to swing this now.
The 12th man just give him free kick after free kick.
Peterborough has so they're promoted into the Championship.
Here comes the 𝐂𝐾𝐬𝐿. So free kick on the halfway line. 5 minutes 40 of the 6 minutes. They've just got to sling this in, Rotherham. The
referee has handed them a chance at the end of the game out of nothing to win it, just like he handed them the equaliser. This is terrible.
Here we go. It's slung in. Kaminsky's well off his line.
Oh, no.
Lewis Wing. Oh, what a block. It's offside. It's probably going to finish 1-1. It has finished 1-1. That is...
Fucking hell. We should have won that 7-1.
Derby County are going to be absolutely livid at that. It's 1-1, as Joe says. It's a good job that this doesn't mean anything for Rovers, because I think I would have thrown something at my TV screen or something. So, yeah.
It's just not good enough. When a striker who's got 25 goals in all competitions can't score from 4 or 5 chances in on goal, it's just not good enough. He will not make it in the Premier League playing like that. Poor.
Absolutely.
So we'll just do a quick 5 or 10 minutes of post-match chat. Rovers fans, just let us know what your thoughts are after the game. We've drawn that 1-1. We should have won that game. How do you feel about Rovers? How are you feeling about the manager? How are you feeling about things in general? In a kind of dead rubber game towards the end of the season, sometimes it can suppress emotions a little bit and you're kind of just like, meh. But actually, let's just boil that down. This is a game that Rovers have dominated, that we've had loads of chances in, that we've not won. And if we look at the run of form that Rovers are in and pitch it against that, what's that now? 3 wins in 19, is it? Is that what the run is? I think it is. That's 3 wins in 19 games, I think. Just not good enough.
It feels like we could not win another game until November and Tony would still keep his job. That's how it feels.
Yeah. So, Alex, I'll start with you then. We'll just do a little brief chat. We'll only do it for 5 or so minutes and then we'll finish. What are your thoughts on that game? 17 shots for Rovers, 6 on target, 57% possession. It felt, on the whole, a pretty decent performance from Rovers, but yet again, stung in the final 10 minutes. So what's your thoughts?
Well, we were chatting during the game about how the channel had come full circle throughout this season and how we'd started away at Watford. And just thinking about that Watford game now, I thought today was very similar. We had a lot of the ball, we had the better chances, and we've not come out with the result at the end of the day. And does that give you a pattern of this whole season?
Yeah.
Gives you a pattern that it's hard to kind of look away from and say, is it just bad luck? Is it bad luck? I can't say it is bad luck because, as you said, Ryan, we've won 3 from 19. And this has happened time and time again, where we lose games by the odd goal. We don't see out games that we ought to. And this is the result, that we have dead rubber games at the end of a season. So I don't want to get too disappointed today. I don't want to get too angry because it's a dead rubber game at the end of the day. But I think today we did show our the deficiencies that we've shown throughout the course of the season. That is the real reason we are where we are in this league. Not clinical enough at the crucial moments of the game, and we always find a way to give away a goal, don't we? And that's why. That is why at the end of the day. So yeah, disappointed that we'd not won the game, because I thought on the whole we deserved the win. But how many times a season? How many times? Yeah. I don't really think I've got much else to say other than that.
No.
I just want to say that if this is the last live stream that I do this season, then thanks for all of the support this season. It's been really good. I couldn't imagine that the first time I ever did one of these live streams that it would have turned out how it's all turned out. So just thanks everyone who continues to watch and support the channel. It's been absolutely fantastic, really. So yeah, just thanks for that. If this is the last time I'm on one of these.
Well, the viewers asked for a 4-man panel live stream, didn't they? So maybe we'll get our heads together.
I think we should do everyone. I think we should have like a 6-man and have Dan, Luke, Alex, you, me, Glenn or something. Just have loads on. That'd be great.
See what happens. So yeah, let's see what we do at 12:30 next week. But no, Alex, you've been spot on this season. I've enjoyed all your opinions. But no, thank you, mate, for giving up your time this afternoon. And Joe, just picking up John's comment here, as I said, danger. Football is full of cliches at times, isn't it? 1-0 is a dangerous lead in any game of football. If it's against a side who are fighting relegation and doing everything possible to try and stay up, it's most certainly a dangerous lead in football. Yes, the refereeing decision was dubious to give that free kick, maybe. I don't know. But Rovers should never have been 1-0 up going into the 86th minute, and we should never have given Rotherham that chance, should we?
No, but I guess the person I feel for is Mowbray, because Mowbray can't put that ball in the net for Armstrong. If you create 17 chances on goal, and you can only score 1 goal, as a manager, you must pull your hair out at night and toss and turn and think, we're setting up in a system where the maximum amount of goals we concede is 0, 1 or 2 every week. And we're creating 17 chances and we're not putting them in the net. As a coach, it must be so demoralising. Because if I'm Tony Mowbray today, I think, God, we should have won that 7-1. And I've got to go out and do a press conference where everyone will ridicule me and say, oh, same stuff every week. But it's the same stuff every week because those players come out with the same crap every week. The players have got to take responsibility for that result. We should have been 7-1 up. We've missed open goals. We've missed one-on-one chances. For me, the referee's the reason that we've conceded one. I thought we defended pretty well throughout, to be honest. I feel bad for Lenihan and Kaminski and Harwood Bellis there. But I just feel sorry for Mowbray after that game. I don't feel sorry for him in general. I think in general we need a plan B. But Mowbray tonight will go to sleep absolutely mortified that we've not won that game. And I do feel for him because what more as a coach can you do with a setup when you're creating 17 chances on goal?
Yeah.
He can't put it in for us.
Yeah, and, I'm not going to sit here and start foaming at the mouth because we've drawn the game 1-1, because actually I've really enjoyed this game. I thought the first half performance was really enjoyable. I really like how we broke the lines. I really loved how we were breaking into those areas just in front of Rotherham's defence. Second half, I love the performance of Lewis Travis. There were loads of enjoyable things about Rovers' performance today. And Joe, you're absolutely right. What can you do? Bradley Johnson's header should go in. Ben Brio should score with his left foot. Adam Armstrong should have scored. Big chances that we've had in this game. So absolutely. Absolutely.
And we were never on the ropes. We never really looked like conceding. It was an open game, granted, but that's how we need it to be if we're going to score. But we played well. We created the chances. We defended well. And individuals have let us down. And for me, that's not Mowbray's fault. In general, I want to see a change for next season, but I come away frustrated at individuals today, and none of them are Tony Mowbray.
No. And I'm the same as you, Joe. It doesn't change my opinion on the manager and what I want to happen. I do want to see a change at the end of the season, and I want to just see us do it sensibly. I don't want to see us do what Nottingham Forest did and get rid of the manager a month into next season if it doesn't go right. So let's be brave, Blackburn Rovers. Let's shake Tony's hand at the end of the season and say thanks, but no thanks, Tony. It is time for a change. this run in 2021 has just not been good enough. So we've got a season of transition next season. Let's let a new manager come in and really eyeball what we need over a 2, 3, 4 year period. You know, let's give him the best chance of success. Just before we finish then, everyone, just a couple of nuggets of information for you. For those of you that were hoping that we would finish above Preston this season, that is not going to happen. They are 4 points ahead of us now on 58 points. Rovers are on 54 points. So Preston will be coming above Rovers this season with that goal for Rotherham. The highest Rovers can finish this season is in 14th place. If we beat Birmingham next week and Stoke City were to lose away at Bournemouth, we would finish 14th as our highest position. Let us know how that makes you feel, that 14th is the position that we would finish. But just to give you another side of the coin on that, though, if Birmingham City were to beat us next week, we would finish below Birmingham City. So let us know how that would make you feel if that happens. So there we go. So just some little nuggets there. So I certainly don't want to be coming below Birmingham City. That would be a dreadful season in my mind with where they've been all season. So we've really got to hope that we don't lose to them next season. Next week, sorry, not next season. Next week. I'm losing the plot. So I think we will end it there. I can see the sentiment in the comments there. You know, Eugene, the fact that we've conceded should have been mute. We've had tons of chances and didn't take them again. Michael, can't go into a season with Gallagher and Brio up front and Lenihan Ayala at the back and expect to get top half, let alone playoffs. I don't think anyone's expecting that next season, Michael. I think very much a season of transition. Jill, really frustrating for a change. We didn't play badly at all, but we have to convert more. And Juice, I'd honestly like us to get as much as we can for Armour. I know he leads our scoring, but he's so frustrating most of the time. Yeah, really frustrating. And then Ben, totally unavoidable on the misses, but this is Rovers. We've wasted so much this season. Finishing 14th, not good enough. As much as we want Tony out, he's going to stay. Next season, I fear, will be worse. So hopefully not. So there we go. I think we will end it there. Oh, I've just seen Door is back. There we go. He gets the final little laughy, smiley, sunglassy emojis, Door. So yeah, we've kept Derby well in the mud there, haven't we? So they've got their day next week against Sheffield Wednesday. If Sheffield Wednesday win next week, Door, you know that Derby County are getting relegated. So I am assuming that you will be a Sheffield Wednesday fan next week, Door. So I want Wednesday and Derby to go because they both deserve it for the FFP stuff that's gone on over the years. Derby especially, you know, all the things they did with selling the stadium to themselves and all that backhanded stuff and political things, and a bit like QPR way back when, where they got an FFP thing and said, nah, we're not following it. And, you know, teams like that have finished higher in the Championship when I don't think they deserved it. You know, I don't like it. So I'll be more than happy if they go down instead of Rotherham. So all it needs is one Rotherham win and a Sheffield Wednesday win, and it relegates both of them, doesn't it? Notwithstanding how Rotherham do in their other game, as long as they're not thrashed. There we go. Let's finish with Grogsy. Ryan, give us a wave. There we go. I'm waving. Hiya, Grogsy. There we go. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll finish it there. There's no post-match stream tonight. I'll be back at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Really, really excited to have Craig Short, John Curtis, and Marcus Bent on a special live stream at 7 p.m. to talk about the promotion season from 20 years ago. So come and join us, watch that live stream, and then go and watch Line of Duty. We'll have a really good Sunday night tomorrow. And then, Joe, just talk about what you're doing on Bank Holiday Monday, the European Scouting Show.
Yeah, so about 7:30, as I said earlier, we've got a bit like the League One show. So we'll be going over some transfers, talking about the GB work permits, got some EFL pundits on, and we'll be going through some players. So if you enjoyed the last one, if it gave you some good names to be pondering over and to be researching yourself, then this will be a good one for you. And for any neutrals watching, it's not just Blackburn related. It's about players that could make the step to the Championship. And we'll be talking about all the Championship clubs and European players. So yeah, 7:30 on Bank Holiday Monday.
Brilliant. So there we go. We've got a couple of shows for you. We've got a couple of shows for you. I will just leave you with a few things. I'll say bye to you all before I put on the overlays. Just a few reminders. Next season, Sporting Minds UK is the charity that we have partnered up with. or we will be supporting, I should say. So look out for all of our different competitions and prizes and other things in support of Sporting Minds UK next season. Really delighted to announce that today. So check that out on the Rovers Chat Twitter as and when all of that stuff is launched. We are sponsored by Blue Rose Capital. I will whiz this off and say goodbye to everyone. Enjoy your evening. And I will leave you all with the 6yardsout.com advert. Enjoy your Saturday evening. See you later, everyone.
The Rovers Chat YouTube channel is proudly sponsored by 6yardsout.com. They've got retro football from every era with mugs, phone cases and much more. They also have plenty of Rovers goods, including apparel with the famous 94-95 season and this season's kit. Check them out using the link in the description below.